Let me let everybody know we're starting. We're taking calls. Phone number 202-998-5218. Call in if you want to have a discussion. I'm right here, ready to hear y'all out. Let me get on Discord as well. Say I'm recording live. Show the entire screen here. It's looking good. And just make sure that this is using my MV7. It's looking good. Looks like 55 is joined in saying, yippee, I've been refreshing your page like a psycho. That's wild. Well, I'm glad you enjoy my work. Right now we're just playing some RuneScape while we wait for calls. But I hope you guys are having a good day. I mean, I'm having a good day. It's pretty chill. Can't complain, can't complain, can't complain. I've been, just got off work, and then I rushed off to go get some food real quick. And then I'm like, man, I'm feeling groggy. You know what I do anytime I feel groggy? Bro, immediate. It's coffee mode. I've also been drinking more energy drinks, which is not good. I've decided don't drink any energy drinks. Avoid energy drinks because I've seen so many people just get kidney stones. And I got news for you. I 1000% do not want to experience that ever under any circumstance. Like, it's just, I'd rather just be tired than deal with the potential, hey, you could get a kidney stone. Like the non-zero chance of like, yeah, here's your kidney stone. I hope you're having fun. Anyway, coffee does not cause kidney stones. And I, at the end of the day, just need, I just need the energy, you know? Let's see. 55 says, energy drinks are my second worst habit. Yo, what's your number one worst habit? You don't have to say it if you don't feel comfortable. But if you do feel comfortable in sharing, I'd be glad to hear it. But energy drinks being your second worst habit, that's pretty good. Energy drinks are pretty bad. I feel like they're bad. So I don't know. I'm avoiding energy drinks. Coffee for me, baby. Coffee for me. 55 says alcohol for sure. Yo, true. I love alcohol. I will never be able to rid myself of it. I love alcohol. With that being said, don't drink. Don't. This is not an advocacy for drinking. Do not drink. Drinking is bad, guy. Drinking is bad, guy. Don't drink. It's bad for you. Beer specifically, you know, I never took you for a beer drinker, but hey, to each their own. I love beer. I love alcohol. I just like alcohol in general. Why does YouTuber require a handle? Sup kids, DSA for the win in Colorado this week. Yo, true and based. By the way, we are taking calls. The lines are open. Anybody can call in. Phone number is 202-998-5218. If you guys want to have a discussion, more than happy to have it with you. Right now, I've just been kind of playing, doing some farming in RuneScape. This is not typical farming. Hey, yo, Anthony Blinken just coming in with $10 USD. Holy cannoli. Oh, my goodness. What am I even going to do with that, Blinken? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it very, very much. Donating that much money so early into the stream. I thank you so much. So it says here, if the purpose of a UBI is to provide everybody a minimum wage, shouldn't we abolish the minimum wage if we institute a UBI? So, like, I'm in favor of a UBI, but also, like, I would need to know, like, how we would fund it in order for it to be, like, a sustainable thing. That would probably be my one gripe about a UBI as opposed to a minimum wage. Minimum wage, that's just providing, like, a floor of quality, right? Where it's like, hey, you can't go below that floor, which I think is not a bad thing, provided that it is, sustainable, I would say. Like economically feasible. But to be honest, I believe that there should probably be no minimum wage and strong worker unions. That's what I would argue for. That way we don't need to have a minimum wage. You would just have a union represent you and would likely do better than just minimum wage. Let's see here. True, I got to prepare for my parents visiting, but I should be able to join. We are taking calls. Phone number 202-998-5218. I am actively taking calls. We are waiting for a call. If you find yourself on the right, let's have a conversation. I'm your LGBTQIA plus representative. We are here to have a discussion, talk about these things, and hopefully we get something fruitful out of it. Let's see. You and I are on the exact same page. F yeah. Yo, true and based. Based and union pilled? Anthony Blinken? Anthony Blinken based and union pilled? Stop. No way. Anthony Blinken's just stuck being based and union pilled. Oh my God. I have so many of these Bologano fruits to make. Look at this. I've gotten 1,291 so far. I've got 4,000 left. Do you have any idea how long it takes to get 1,200 Bologano fruit? Do you see that? I don't think you really understand just how insane it is. So how's your guys' day? What are you guys doing for your 4th of July? What are you guys going to do? I love 4th of July. Despite me being a wokey, I love the 4th of July. I've always loved the 4th of July. I think it's great. To this day, I love the 4th of July, and I'm woke as shit. What am I going to do? I'm thinking of, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking maybe I should hit up, do some grilling. Grilling is the move. Grilling is always the answer. Fireworks, fireworks never did nothing for me. Fireworks is like, it's number one, it's expensive. Fireworks kind of, and it's like, you just like see it once and then it's gone. And then that's the end of the firework. And it's like, that kind of sucks. I mean, if it's someone else's fireworks, great. I'm going to watch. But other than that, why would I spend on fireworks? Have you seen some of these like fireworks shows that exist out there? There are some fireworks shows that are incredible. I remember seeing the Disney fireworks show. I think they spend like over $100,000 per night on fireworks. I'm like, bro, dude, how do you even, that's freaking wild if you think about it, right? Like, and I remember seeing that show, and yeah, that show did look like it cost $100,000 to make. I'm just going to say, let's say Air Llama coming in saying, classic Chud Mender. Air Llama, it is good to see you. Glad to have you here. I didn't appreciate what you did to me earlier. That's not very nice. We'll talk about that later, though. We'll talk about that later. That's not very nice of you, Air Llama. Why does YouTube require a handle? That is, can I just call you Handle? Should I just call you Handle? That's too long. That's a long name. Trespassing railroad land to teach some kids to fish for my 4th. That's nice. Wow. That sounds nice. That sounds great. Let's see. Why does StreamYard... Wait, hold on. Get StreamYard and ditch the video games. More people will call in and watch. Do you think? Specifically, I should get StreamYard and ditch the video game? Tell you what. Let me, I'll ditch the game for just a bit, okay? Let me just get the last of this Bologano fruit, okay? Here, I'm just going to get these Bologano fruits, and then we'll stop the video game for a bit. Let me finish up these last of the Bologanos, and then I will put it away just for now. What's wrong with old Joe? Old Joe is telling me that I should ditch the video games. Why should I? Why should I ditch the video games? I'm curious. I would like to understand your logic behind that, because I personally I just want something to do while I'm like waiting for calls, I guess. All right, hold on. I will grant your wish. I'll grant it. Amender, maybe you could also notify Discord that you're live. Wait, did I notify Discord? Did I? I don't think I did. Oh, I didn't. Oops. Copy link address. Let me quickly do this. Hold on. We got to get these bologanos. I'm sorry. All right, let me add everybody. Add everyone. Live and taking calls. All right, there you go. All right, give me a moment. We're gonna finish off the last of these bologanos, and then we'll go. I'll turn off the video game by the basis of old Joe, and we'll see. We'll see. I always like the game. I don't know. I always like the games. It's just nice. Sure, I will explain. Having a conversation with someone is way more engaging to the interlocutor and to your audience if it seems like you're actually interested and engaged. Okay. I could see that. I mean, I'm able to pay attention while I play a game, especially if it's like pretty brain rotted like this, where it's like it's just like no thought put into it. But yeah, no, I think you're right. Let me put it away, and then we'll just it'll just be us in the chat. Just give me a sec. Give me a sec. Last of them. These are the last of them. Harvest Bologano plant.
Sure.
What's up, working man?
You farming again?
Yeah, been doing this for days. Doing this shit for days. By the way, y'all, we are taking calls. Phone number is 202-998-5218. You guys want to call in, have a discussion, we can do so. Unless if working man wants to have a conversation, up to him.
Well, it depends on what. I just got out of work, so I got a little bit of time.
All right, hold on. Here we go. Okay. Let me get the music going. All right.
Okay.
So now it's just us. And I can open up Notepad. Actually, speaking of which, I got to open up Notepad. Let me just make sure I don't got anything weird on Notepad. No, we're good. All right, let's go back to here. All right. Here be my Notepad. It's going to be, I don't know, like that big. Yeah. All right. We're taking calls. Call in. Phone number is 202-998-5218. You want to call in, have a discussion, we will do so. I gotta get the fishing line out.
Yeah, the fishing pole with the little trans flag.
Come on.
You need some better bait.
No, dude. No, this bait works. We're gonna be getting fish. Come on, call in. We're waiting for a caller. You know you want to bite the trans flag. Come on.
Let's see. It is kind of relevant. They did pass that Supreme Court thing. I don't really know what it entails though. Just that states can do whatever they want, something like that.
Yeah, basically it'll enable states the ability to discriminate against trans people.
Yeah.
Regarding sports, which is effed up. Shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That's okay. The Supreme Court has made worse decisions.
Yeah, I mean, they did keep birthright citizenship, right? Which is wild. You don't think that's kind of wild?
Let's see. Work Academics 6415 says, why is everything trans with you guys? Because I'm a very staunch pro LGBTQIA plus supporter, and there's a stunning amount of attacks towards trans people. And I'm very sympathetic towards trans people. Looks like we got AWOL thoughts in the house. What's up, AWOL? We're taking calls. Phone number's 202-998-5218. Call in. You know what I should do in my YouTube no flags? Steelman says, LOL, dude is a trans lover. You're okay with incest too, I hope. Endogamy. You know, honestly, if you just call in, we could just have a conversation. Yeah. You can call in. Call in. 202-998-5218. Call in. Come on. I know you want to do it. Do it. Come on, fish.
Hello, Amanda.
What's up, Daniel? We're fishing.
Yeah, I saw that. I was watching the stream. I mean, listening to it. And I heard you. Any fish catching?
Not yet. Not yet.
They're going to catch. They're going to get triggered.
But they will.
Let's stir the pot. We need to throw a little chum in the water. You know.
Oh, I like that.
I
like
some
the
chum
fish.
in the water. You like it?
Yeah. Let me throw a little chum out there. Let me start something here.
You want to try to have a discussion? I gotta turn off the music and put on Do Not Disturb for the phone call. All right.
All right. Let's start a little something here.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. Do you think that the trans community belongs in the gay and lesbian community?
Yes.
Gay, lesbian, and bisexual. Can you explain why? If trans are just, it's not their sexuality, it's their gender. They're changing their gender. How does that correlate with, being attracted to the same sex?
It's going against the heteronormative orthodoxy, and I'm in favor of that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, can't you have gay trans people too? Again, it's like
that is true.
Identification and sexual preference is they're different, right? So it's you literally can have a trans person that is also gay. It's that they're not mutually exclusive, I think.
Yeah, but it's a little tricky because if you're saying let's say you're a trans woman, but you like men, I mean, technically, I would think you're gay, but in their eyes, they're a woman, so it's not gay, right?
Old Joe 97 says, I think
mean
people are hesitant to use their personal phones. Could be long distance charges, etc. Isn't a limited version of StreamYard free? You'd get flooded with calls. I mean, there's nothing wrong with StreamYard, but I mean, I have Discord up, so anybody can just call in. Anyway, sorry. So I wanted to address.
Saying that StreamYard is better, maybe.
You
could try it.
Are you against trans people belonging in the LGB community?
I think they should have their own advocacy group instead of being lumped in with the same sex, with the gay and the lesbians. They should just be like transgender and the non-binary people.
Why the separation?
It kind of mixes. Because there's gay people who are against the trans, right? Because they say they're just taking away their spaces or something like that, or they're trying to infiltrate. I think it's the women, the lesbians. They say that these trans women are just trying to infiltrate their spaces, and they fought for their own space and all this stuff. So there are a lot of lesbians that are against the trans movement.
I don't think that that's a good argument, because I can already just think as an analogy, were there black people in favor of slavery? And if so, would that mean slavery is okay because there were black people in favor of slavery?
Slavery. Slavery is just bad. I'm not saying there's being gay or being trans is bad.
I'm saying, I asked you, are you against trans people in the LGBT community? And you said that it should be in their own category. And I'm asking why.
Yeah.
And you're saying it's because there's gay people that's against trans. So is it fair to say that like if there were black people that were in favor of slavery, would that be, do you think that that would be a justification for the slavery in the same way gay people are against trans?
No, no, I don't. I don't think it's a good analogy because I think slavery is a bad is an action, right? And then just being an organization or group is just identifying as that. You know, maybe a better analogy would be.
You know what? I think I got a better argument for you. Let's scratch this whole argument because I think it's a little clunky. But I just thought of something that would be a big problem for you.
All right, give it to me.
Is having sex with a trans woman gay to you?
To me, yeah. To me, yeah. Yes, that would be gay.
All right, they're part of the LGBT.
Yeah.
Well, that's an easy one.
But wait a minute. My contention was always.
What's he gonna do, Daniel? He's.
Yeah, I mean,
my contention was that through the trans individual, their eyes, it's a little different. But
right, but it is, by your metric, right?
Yeah,
that they should have their own thing, but the reality is that their shit's gay. So done. Yeah. Problem solved.
Yeah, you got it.
I think it's like what is most important. I think it's
I'm just trying to muddy the
Amanda told you in the beginning.
All right. We're gonna open up the phones.
It's about the cis-normative the thing, right? Where it's like people just want to kind of
All right, y'all. Phone lines are open.
Regardless, right?
202.
If you put all of them together, they're still a minority.
Sorry, 202-998-5218. Call in. Let's have the discussion. That was the working man, everybody, who threw his head in the ring and accepted defeat with that was a jugular move right there. I'm telling you.
You
just got man. Come on.
He judoed me on the floor.
Anyway, let's see here. Looks like Cowcrapper is agreeing, saying Amender, easy win. Shit was a slam dunk. To be fair, right? My original argument was clunky. It's clunky.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get the fishing pole back out. All right, come on.
The fish.
By the way, if you guys are not hitting like on the stream, hit like while we sit here and fish together for more debates. How you doing, Daniel?
Dude, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of America.
Of July 4th?
Of America. No, fuck that.
Whoa.
I don't care about that.
What the fuck?
I'm looking at all the socialists that are winning in America.
Yo,
all over the place. Dude,
they're just winning in New York. Only in New York.
No, they won another one.
All over they like yesterday they won in Colorado. Literally, really? they in the primaries, they unseated a House Democrat that's been there for 30 years, right? A 30-year incumbent. Can you imagine that?
I mean,
it's just crazy.
By the way, y'all, just to point out, right, with Daniel and Working Man, these are just people that are in the Discord. We're hanging out in Discord, but calls take priority. Do call in if you guys want to have a discussion. Phone number is 202-998-5218. Call in. More than happy to hear from you. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. It's like because I was looking at the Melat Kiros race in Colorado, and she won by more than 10%, which is just like insane. Also, like another good news, Amanda. News. I saw some polling today from Texas, and in Texas there's like a very beautiful race.
Will this
in Texas,
come to a point where
you have Ken Paxton? Yeah,
where it finally goes purple.
Tallarico.
Will Texas finally go purple?
Yeah.
No way.
It might.
There's no.
I mean, Ken
way.
Paxton is like objectively a disgusting piece of garbage. He's a horrendous human being. He literally pardoned the pedophiles, and it's like he did corruption like in broad, daylight. Dude, he was literally censored by the Republicans, right? He was so corrupt and so shitty that even his fellow Republicans said, brother, no, don't do that,
Mhm.
And, thanks to Trump, he did win the primary. But, primaries are primaries. Elections are a different thing. And Trump actually has a negative overall approval rate in Texas. It's like minus 47, which is like crazy, right? For like a red state. And it's like I saw like 2 polls today. In one of them, Ken Paxton and James Tallarico are like dead even. And in the other one, it's actually James Tallarico that's ahead by 2 percentages. So I don't know, man. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful because the guy, James Tallarico is like a great person, and it also like fits the racism from Texas, right? Because he's white, he's like a devout Christian, like he just fits all the things, right? And he just wants like healthcare for everybody. He wants more money for everybody, lower prices. Lower prices for gas, like you name it, right? Like all the good things.
All right, hold on a sec.
Yeah, sure.
Hold on, I got some good shit right here. Hold on. Where the hell is it? Where the hell is it? No, hold on. Give me a sec. All right, hold on. I'm doing something with this.
Oh, yeah.
Watch what happens.
Yeah.
Hold on. Watch what happens. Watch. Filters, right? We're gonna bust out the what is it? Alpha, I think. Chroma key. Color. Chroma key.
Yeah.
Chroma key. Okay, here we go. So key color type, custom color. All right, here we go. Select color. It's gonna be how do I
do it reflecting pool green if you can.
How do I where the fuck? Where's the hold on? Where is the
reflecting pool green?
Bro?
Yeah, it's the best color. What,
it's gone. It just disappeared. Oh. All right, this is it. All right, y'all.
There you go. You need to put it lower, though.
Put it lower? Okay. Like right here?
There you go. It's perfect.
Yeah, but it covers the chat.
Well, I mean, the only way it doesn't cover the chat if it covers your face. So you can't have them all, man.
No, it's okay. I'm removing it. I'd like to the chats to. Anyway, we are taking calls. Phone number is 202-998-5218. Call in. You want to have a discussion, we can do so. Bro, if I don't get any calls, I'm going back to playing RuneScape because this old Joe 947 is telling me some bullshit, and I would rather enjoy myself or at least get my grind on. You know what I'm saying? Daniel?
Whoa.
Grinding in RuneScape. Don't you know what grind is? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not that.
Hey,
grinder. That tells me something. Every time I hear the word grinder, I just think Republican.
Goodness.
Is that bad?
We're waiting for them calls. Come on.
Come on, people.
Bro, if I don't get any call in the next minute, I'm going back to RuneScape. You get 1 minute. All right. Timer, 1 minute.
What's new in your RuneScape?
1 minute. There we go. Got a phone call. There we go. That's what I was expecting. All right, here we go. Wait, what the hell? He hung up.
You need to do it. It's like you need to get better at reeling them in,
Let's see. Tendie Assassin
like
says, if a man can wear out a dress, fake boobs, get surgery, act feminine, and expect to be called a woman, can I paint my face black, wear a do-rag, and then talk with a certain dialect in order to be a trans racial? No, you cannot. But you're touching on something here in that if somebody, for example, had all of the characteristics, then they would be seen as that. Yes. Anyway, hold on. You're on the line with First Amender.
Hey, First. It's Merck. How you doing?
Hey, Merck. What you want to talk about today?
That wasn't me, by the way. He just called. I don't know. I just tuned in. Did you have any previous callers before?
Yeah, we had. Well, there was a little bit with the working man, but it was a pretty quick call.
Okay. And there wasn't any kind of general theme or anything like that?
Nope. Could be whatever you want to talk about.
Okay, yeah. How about, let's see, the entire, so I've been kind of like perusing various other, like channels like yours who like debate people, and especially like people on the left debating, having people call in. And I've started to realize, like, I don't know, man, this might be like a super unhealthy kind of culture that you like, that revolves around this type of thing. It's like, there's a lot of, it's like everybody's already had their mind made up. No one's changing anybody's opinion. People are throwing names around and being nasty. It's kind of a weird thing. I mean, do you feel like these debates are healthy and constructive generally?
No, they're not constructive. No, I don't think so.
And you would argue that's strictly from the other side, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's more of an entertainment factor. I personally enjoy like debating and arguing. So that's just for me, and I just enjoy that. And so I made this channel because I enjoy that. But as to whether or not it changes minds, yeah, I've also noticed that it doesn't tend to change minds.
Yeah, and I've had experiences. I tried calling into another show, and man, I even like tried to like, I tried to like sort of like, you know, listen to their points and be like, yeah, no, I understand. They got mad at me, and then their chat was saying that I'm more dangerous than people who are outright racist and bigots because I could be people like you were pipelines to bring people down to the right or something, like, because I was trying to like be friendly and try to like hear them out on their point. And like they were getting mad at me because I wasn't calling him, like I wasn't acting like a racist, saying names, and like they're saying that it was crazy. Like it was a weird experience. But yeah, other than that though,
what in the world did you say to these people where they're responding that way?
They were saying this is a debate show. I want people to call in to debate. I said, well, I'm having a conversation with you. And it was about, I guess it might have been a transgender issue or something. And they were getting the whole chat was being like super nasty to me, saying like, I'm like a secret fascist trying to, bring people over to the right. And I'm more dangerous than people who just flat out call saying racist stuff. It was crazy. But other than that, so can I talk about your Andrew Wilson debate a little bit?
Sure.
So do you think that I said he was incredibly nasty and rude, and I think that he's like that's sort of what I mean too, is like I think after I saw that with you, I found out this dude has like a college, like a thing where people pay him to learn how to be a debate bro, or
yeah,
like, that's fucking ridiculous. And it's just super unhealthy and disgusting. But when you spend your whole day debating people, of course you're going to be good at it, right? But his one point he brought up about how when you ask what is a woman, and he said somebody that expresses phenotypes typically associated with mammalian female reproduction. That seemed like that was a pretty good, interesting way of putting it. I think that I don't know if like how would you? Yeah. I forget how you responded to that.
Well, that would just be a conflation of sex and gender, right? Trans people isn't really addressing the sex; it's addressing the difference between sex and gender and how you determine somebody to be a woman.
Right, but in the argument you brought up the phenotypes, right? You said that.
No, I didn't bring up phenotypes.
Yes, you did.
I'm saying like phenotypic response. Yes. Okay, you're right.
And and then he said, okay, well, I call a woman is somebody with that phenotypically shows female characteristics, and I would describe females as a human being that typically associated with female or with a mammalian reproductive reproductive organs.
I mean,
that,
that's
you know,
just
so I
on
think,
its
like,
own is would be circular logic, right? Because human being associated with female hormones or female gonads, I guess, is what you're effectively saying. That doesn't really map on. And this
well,
also
I
doesn't
mean,
address people, for example, that have Swire syndrome either, right? It just kind of like presumes this binary because he lives in kind of a binary worldview with his religion. And so he can't come to terms with the idea of, say, intersex individuals or people that don't express perfectly the from one spectrum to another. You are aware of people with Swire syndrome, right? They're XY, but they have a vagina.
right, but, you know, there are people who are born with 6 toes, but we still call that a foot. It's just a deformed foot, right? So
I'm just saying, like, my position is able to understand this, whereas when you stick it into a binary, it doesn't really address the complex nature of human biology.
right. And I agree with that. I guess, you know, the big argument is the general overarching argument that a lot of people have a problem with is that all of a sudden we are being forced to feel like we have to define what we've been taught for a long time, what is a man and a woman, even in a gender way, and that this kind of all of a sudden we're being forced to and when I bring up the concept of like soft sciences, right? I guess the concept is like, you know, 50 years ago it was gender dysphoria, and then there was sort of a political movement that kind of changed it to.
Well, gender dysphoria is still a thing today, so.
Well, what's the difference? See, that's confusing. Like, I don't get
gender dysphoria is the negative feeling distressing you associated with being the wrong sex from your gender, your body not looking the way that you want it to be.
And then how is that different from transgenderism?
So transgenderism doesn't require that negative feeling associated.
So you're saying,
you could, for example, receive exclusively what's called gender euphoria, where you feel euphoric being the opposite gender of your sex.
Okay, so people who want to transition, there's some people who don't feel any negative emotions to their current sex.
Yeah.
Man. You know,
not all trans people have gender dysphoria. You should be aware.
I'm sorry?
Not all trans people have gender dysphoria. You should be aware.
Well, I mean, see, and that's sort of what I'm kind of getting at. Like, that's very patronizing because, like, is it okay if maybe I didn't understand that? I mean,
no, it's fine. No, it's good that you ask these questions. I think it's important to understand exactly what are the positions. But I think like where people get really hung up on is that they legitimately believe that gender is the same thing as sex. And they think that like the gender part is just like is only a social construct, and that it's just make believe, and that you just avoid it entirely. But in reality, right, it's not like you're walking around determining people's sex. You're walking around looking at them, and then if they possess enough character attributes that are typical with male or female, you associate them in that way. And so gender is just explaining that there can be a severance from the sex versus how you externally identify or how you internally feel. That's all it's talking about. And there are people that have this incongruence.
But it's bleeding over though, right? It's bleeding over. Like when people say men have periods and they're putting tampons in men's rooms, right? That's starting to go over into the biology aspect of it, not just gender expression.
Well, hold on. But there are trans men that can have periods, right?
What is it?
Because their external gender identity and their internal gender identity is that of man, but they still have a vagina because their sex is female. So they would be able to have a period.
So you're saying if there is women who transition to men and they want to go into men's rooms, then got it.
I could show you what a trans man looks like. It's wild what they look like. They look more manly than me.
Okay, so
they look way more manly than me.
when people can say men can have periods, they're talking about women who transition into men.
Yeah, here, I'll show you as an example, because I want other people to be able to see it. So you really understand just how, I guess, deep the rabbit hole goes. Like, here is a trans man. Like, yeah, I don't care who you are. That's a man.
Right. Right, I hear you. I mean, I get
Yeah,
it.
you can even see the breast tissue scars. Like, this is clearly like it was original. But honestly, if this person was wearing a shirt, there's no way I'm clocking this person. They look like that they could throttle me and I would be dead.
Right.
That's a man, right? We can all agree that's a guy, right? We can all agree that's a guy, right? Can we all just be in agreement? I don't care if that guy has a vagina. That's a guy. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, why did we get to the point where we aren't allowed to just say trans woman and trans men? They have to be just women or men. Well,
because it acknowledges the identity. It acknowledges the identity based in gender.
Right. Okay. And I guess that would make it feel more exclusionary to just say, to not call them men or women, to make a special.
It's not really a matter of exclusion. It's realizing what gender is. Right. Again, the way that you determine somebody to be male or female, are you analyzing everybody's gonads? No. Right?
No, but like Andrew, I will say,
are you doing a blood test and then waiting 2 weeks to get the results back on XY or XX chromosomes? Are you pulling out a microscope and determining whether or not it's large or small gametes? What are you doing to determine their sex? You're not determining their sex. You're looking at a series of characteristics that output
typically associated.
Yeah, that is typically associated with male or female. That's how it works. That's what everybody does, and most people aren't even aware of that.
But then what is female, right? Female are they have phenotypical
XX chromosomes that result in the primary sex characteristic of a vagina, right? That's the sex of female. But if you're talking about the gender of woman or girl, do you see what I'm saying? Like you don't have to possess the primary phenotypic expression. There are secondary sex attributes as well as social positions
and neuro.
Does any of that make sense?
Well, it does. But when you brought up, and a lot of other people bring up the argument about phenotypic expressions, right? And tradition. Throughout, people traditionally associate women with phenotypical expressions of being female, and female, has characteristics of giving live birth, right? So the phenotypic expressions of the gender of female is associated, or of women is associated.
So if a woman does not give live birth, they're not a woman?
No, but that's a kid. So I think.
Okay, so obviously it's not live birth then.
No. I think what we've lost here is
how do you determine woman, right? Because I'm able to determine woman.
How do you determine what a hand is?
Huh?
How do you determine what a hand is?
What a hand is?
Yeah.
I don't know. Typically, digits attached to a forearm.
Right. And how many digits?
It doesn't have to have 5. Typically,
but
it's
a
5,
hand
but it
has
could be
5
4,
digits.
it could be 3, it could be 2. Hell, it could be 1.
How often does that happen?
It'd still technically be
exactly.
a hand. It's attached to the forearm.
Right. So it's still It's still a woman that is a female who is associated with the characteristics of giving birth. Even though she hasn't given birth.
Your answer to me explaining what gender was for you to bring up what a hand is.
No, because I think the nuance that got lost in this discussion.
How do you determine somebody to be man or woman?
I just don't understand how you don't think this is a somewhat decent argument. the
It's not.
phenotypical if a female is typically associated with the characteristics of giving live birth, and a woman has the phenotypical characteristics, or a woman has the phenotypical characteristics of a female, then
How do you determine somebody to be a man or a woman?
I look at their phenotypical expressions.
So you look at them.
Right, and then I determine from that what typically,
All right.
based on those phenotypical expressions, what their sex is.
So just to be clear, right? And I'm going to bring this back in. Is that a man or a woman?
Well, what if I said that? What if I said that I knew that was actually a woman who is being transgender?
Is that a man or a woman?
Because
if you looked at them, right?
Look,
You said that how you determine somebody to be a man or woman is you look at them. So I'm asking you to look at this one. Is this a man or a woman?
I would be polite and acknowledge that as a man. But
yeah, I agree.
know personally
I would do that
it's
too.
not.
There you go. You now understand the difference between sex and gender. Their sex is
But this is
female,
science.
but
This isn't about
obviously
being polite.
they're a man.
This is we're talking about culture and science.
Yes.
Does that boil down to politeness?
All of this operates within culture and science. Everything of what I have mentioned results in the understanding of culture and science of gender being different from sex. There are multiple different fields of science that acknowledge this existence.
But you just said it's boiled down to being polite.
No, it's not. It's not down to it being polite. And that was an error when I made that argument with Andrew Wilson. I should have been intensely not polite to him.
You should have. And I
should have been a giant dick to him. I should have. Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. I was trying to kill him with kindness. That was a terrible idea. I should have rubbed it in his face and show him that not even he understands what a woman is.
But what? Well, I guess we're going why do we have to go through? We have to go through so many rules to identify what a woman is.
No, you don't. You don't have to go through any rules. It's so easy.
Yeah,
it's
you do.
So easy. You did it. You did it immediately.
No, it's
you
not.
were capable of doing it right away. It did not require any effort on your part. Here, we'll try again. Right? We'll try again. Here we go. You ready? You ready? Here we go. Is that a man or a woman? Here we go. You see that? It's about 12 seconds. I think 12 seconds behind on the stream. I'm just going to let you think about it for a second, right? Is that a man or a woman?
It is. If I was being polite, I would say it's a man, but I know it's a woman.
Yeah, sick-based. We agree. See, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. It's the easiest thing ever.
But you yourself have said that it's phenotypical expressions and things like neurochemistry. So it is complicated.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there are biological imperatives that result in somebody becoming trans. Sure, there could also be social implications as well. It's often a combination of the both.
That's complicated.
Yeah, I agree.
You're telling me now that
I'm just pointing out, right?
Well,
like I'm saying, like the way you determine somebody to be a man or woman, you're not doing a blood test. You're just looking at them. Right? So you're not using sex to determine whether they're a man or a woman.
Right, but
that's all it's arguing. That's all I'm saying.
But it bleeds, but gender bleeds over into things like healthcare, and so it isn't just expression. It boils over into science, right?
All right.
And science is based in some kind of truth, right?
Let's just see here, right? Here, we'll try another one. Here we go. Okay, about 12 seconds behind. Is that a man or a woman?
Hold on. And, like Andrew Wilson, I mean, I could be fooled.
Is that a man or a woman?
I got to catch up. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that is a trans woman.
Look at you. You're doing it. Is it a woman?
I can tell that it was a man. Dude.
Is it you can tell that's a man?
A trans woman.
No cap. You're capping. You're capping.
That it's sex. That its birth sex was male.
That's fucking cap. You're gonna tell me you could clock her? Ain't no goddamn way, bro. Ain't no goddamn way on planet Earth. No way you're going to tell me that you clocked her.
Well, I would say the one
Are
on
you
the
serious?
left. I would. Hold on, I'm getting echoes from the stream.
Yeah, you got to mute.
so-
You got to mute it.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I've been in situations where at a you can there. Human beings are, you know this. They're incredibly good at pattern recognition, right? They did a study where they took people and had them compare people who had plastic surgery versus those that didn't. 96% of people could tell whether someone had plastic surgery or not.
All right. How about this? We'll try this, right? We'll try this.
Listen,
Here,
first,
help
you're
me
right.
out, right? Help me out, okay?
You're
so good at
and I would call
clocking
them a
it,
woman.
right?
You're right. You're right. Okay, I can see.
Hold on, just for fun, right? I just want to see it, right? I'm curious, right? Is that a man or a woman?
Oh, hold on, I got to put the stream back on.
Yeah. Give it about 12 seconds. 12 seconds, and then as long as you have the live up.
All right, give me 1 second.
Yeah. Yep. Is that a man or a woman?
Don't spoil it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so I could be wrong, but hold on, let me pause the stream again. Sorry, I could be wrong, but the first thing I see is, and I could be wrong, is a sort of there's a certain dissymmetry between like the length between her her eyes and her nose. So I don't know. Maybe that's a woman. I don't know, but it looks like a trans woman to me.
Really? Does it?
Because when you look at
So this is actually Jane Mansfield, and she was a major Hollywood sex symbol of the 1950s and 60s. So she's literally just a woman. So you're just displaying your transphobia right now for everybody to see. I find that hilarious.
Wait. How is that transphobia?
No, because you're trying to clock people that are clearly a woman. You're sitting there trying to clock people, but in reality, you have no way. You literally just said one of the most beautiful people on like in history. You're going to tell me that was a trans woman, bro. You're wild. You're wild, dude. You just got cooked just now. Y'all just got cooked.
I conceded before that.
All right,
so obviously
fair
I was
enough,
right that
but man, that's a short.
Your culture is kind of disgusting a little bit with this debate show, but
all right, I mean, Merck. I would take the time to read a book on gender. I would say read the book "Who's Afraid of Gender" by Judith Butler. Okay.
Yeah, I know who Judith Butler is, and
yeah.
First, I don't understand why. Plain and simple, why I support transgender people to live their lives and do whatever they want, right? I support, but, I guess when it comes to sports, I've disagreed with you before, because in something like sports, we already have arbitrary rules anyway. So if we make another arbitrary rule, we already discriminate by weight and age. So why can't we discriminate by that? I don't understand why. But other than that,
we already made the arbitrary rule is the fact that you did ban trans people from the sport. But yeah.
Right, and I don't like the way they went about it. I think it was
I appreciate your call, Merck. I do. I appreciate it.
Hold on, let me just finish saying this.
Go ahead.
I think, I don't know, you probably disagree. I don't know if most Americans would say that they hate trans people and want them to die and wish they didn't exist. You would probably say that a lot of them do. But I'm the fact that the way you just did that is what a lot of people on the left do. And they want you to 100% buy into their worldview, or else you're a horrible person. We can't even meet halfway. You like.
Yeah, well, because like, here's the thing, man. The halfway is not acceptable to me. I'm sorry. I think that all individuals, regardless trans or not trans, are endowed with their inalienable rights of life, liberty, property, and pursuit of happiness. And they have a right to live their life free of harassment in the same way that irregular individuals ought to live their life free of harassment. And I believe in that wholeheartedly. And wanting to exclude trans women from sports or from, just anything in life in general, or access to medical care is a fundamental breach of human rights. It is a human rights violation, and it's only a matter of time before we realize that. Appreciate your call, Merck.
All right, man. Take care.
Bye-bye. Man, this guy's calling like crazy.
That was fast.
Bro, you got that, dude.
Give me a quick second. Give me a quick second. Hold on.
Okay.
Discussion, people. Just write my notes. Give me a moment. Can I get your name?
Hey, yeah, my name's Tendie Assassin. I'm in Texas.
Tendie Assassin?
Yeah.
All right. You know, you can't spell assassin without saying ass twice.
Oh my God, no! Don't say that word. I don't like that word.
That was a joke.
All right.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, I'm just messing with you.
What would you like to talk about?
Hey, so I am transracial, and I want to know if you had a problem with it.
Okay. How are you transracial?
Huh?
How are you transracial?
Well, it's just a feeling that I have that I have the wrong skin color. That I was born with the wrong skin color.
Okay, have at it. What is your skin color then?
Well, I was born with white skin.
Okay,
you know,
and so you're trying to be born with black. You're trying to display black skin.
Sorry, let me turn off my Bluetooth speaker, bro. It just started coming out of nowhere. All right, go ahead.
So, are you trying to have black skin?
Well, like every time I paint my face, I go out in public, people kind of ridicule me, you know, based on like what I actually feel inside, and I get bullied for it. I started talking a certain way, dressing a certain way. You know, I did grow up with 2 non-present fathers, unironically. That's not a bit, you know, and I feel like I have some of the background that, you know, would follow that.
You say you grew up with no father?
Well, like two non-present fathers, you know. That's typical in that community. Yeah.
Non-present fathers.
Yeah, that's like typical, like where that can be like statistically, you know, and it's a sad reality. It really is. But I was wondering, like, should I expect society to call me a black man if that's who I truly feel inside?
Hold on a sec. Give me a moment. I just wanted to actually see here. It's really sad. 47% of black mothers are single. That's sad. Anyway, sorry. Okay. Yeah. So I think if you displayed a specific way where you were indistinguishable from black, then certainly you would live the black experience. You would.
But should I expect society to like cater to me and like call me that?
I don't think so, no. But I'm saying like you wouldn't need society to cater to you. It would just cater to you if you passed.
Okay.
But I also don't believe that you should be harassed, right? Just because you are that. I understand you're trying to establish like a. I understand you're trying to establish like a like kind of like an absurdity to comparing race with gender.
Well, how is it absurd? It's a feeling.
You feel black?
Yeah.
Why don't you explain what that's like?
Well, there's some people that can't define what a woman is, even though they feel like it. And
well, I'm just asking, like,
you know,
how do you feel black?
You know, it's one of those things that doesn't really have a definition, just like woman doesn't really, you know, have a definition. You can woman's or whatever you want it to be.
I did define woman. I did, both by sex and gender, in multiple.
So whenever someone says that they can't like.
So how do you feel black exactly?
Well, it's just one of those really indescribable things. You're just
not gonna engage with that. You're just gonna say the same dumb thing. Got it.
Well, I mean,
what a great argument.
Whenever I ask like a transgender,
yeah, I'm gonna ask you the question one more time because you're not answering it right. How do you feel black? I'm able to explain what a woman is, both by sex and gender. So, how do you feel black?
How do I feel black? Well,
yep.
I guess I'm trying to compare it to like when someone says that they're like a woman, and I ask them why, and they can't explain it. So I guess it's kind of like on the same level.
But I did explain what a woman was. So once again, you're just repeating
well, you
the same
did,
thing.
but that doesn't like.
And
you
so
don't
I'm going to ask
speak for
you,
most of the
how
trans
do
community.
you feel black?
You don't speak for the trans community or the transracial community.
All right,
you can't
bro,
really like have that feeling.
All right. Well, if you're incapable of even having a single question answered, I think we got to move on.
Man, is this what it feels like to be on the other end of this?
How do you feel black?
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to like bring it back, you know. So like, whenever I ask most transgender people, they can't answer what a woman is.
I've already explained it multiple times. How do you feel black?
I know you did. I know you
All right,
did.
so
but
then
you don't
stop
speak for the whole
saying the
trans
same
community.
thing. How do you feel black?
You don't speak for the trans community.
Don't
though.
care.
I know you
How do
said
you feel
something, but
black?
It's not the overwhelming majority.
Don't care. You can only speak for yourself. I can only speak for myself. I explained what a woman was, both by sex and gender. Now you will explain how you feel black. Mr. Transracial.
Well, thank you for acknowledging that. You know, I can't really describe it. I'm gonna have to side with the transgenders on this one. I think we're really tight knit with the transgenders. We can't really describe it.
Appreciate your call there, Assassin. You have a great day.
Man, hey, you too, brother. I really did appreciate it. God bless.
Dude, that was you did like a prophecy. He was a double ass. That was crazy. Okay, dude, I'm gonna write a Bible just about.
He was a double ass. Let's go.
He was a double ass.
Double ass.
Also, it's like, what does it mean, like transracial? Since there's only like human race,
guys.
Is he not like a Homo sapiens?
Yeah.
Is he just like what? Like what is he? Is
Lobster
he like,
Lars says, I can answer what a woman is, but I'll
lobster?
bet $20 that he can. So if you're talking about woman in terms of sex, as in female and 18 years old, it's typically XX chromosomes resulting in primary sex characteristics such as vagina, ovaries, hips, fat around the hips, less around the belly, but you can have fat around the belly, but it's mostly around the hips, around the chest area, and also results in likely a receded brow ridge, as well as a more chisel shaped chin where it is more diamond shaped. That would be an example of female, and then you must be 18 years old. That would be woman by sex. And then if you're referring to woman by gender, it is predicated upon the internal sense of female. So there you go. More than happy to explain it. So appreciate that I was able to explain it, but he could not explain what I was hoping that he was just going to start like listing off stereotypes and looking like a complete racist moron. Trying to explain.
I mean, he already he started.
He was like, I knew he was thinking it. I was like, come on, you got this.
Yeah, I lived in a household without a father. That makes me a black. Oh wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that
exactly.
is crazy.
Classic.
It's like
classic.
amazing.
Dick move,
dude,
by the way. Right?
It's like tell me you're
Super
a moron
dick
without
move.
telling me you're a moron.
Yeah.
You know, just that's it.
All right, come on. So we're taking calls. Anybody can call in. Phone number is 202-998-5218. Man, that hand argument was terrible too. I didn't like that. That was a silly argument. It's like, what if I have 4 fingers? I'm like, yeah, it's still a hand.
But you know, he was an ass, which is like another name for a donkey. So he clearly was transracial. He was not Homo sapiens. He was a donkey.
Let's see. Tendie Assassin says, why don't stereotypes make me black? So here's the thing, right? There's actually a bit of truth in what you're saying specifically, where if somebody possessed external phenotypes of that of black, then you would be treated like you're black. In fact, there have been many instances where somebody just ends up looking black and then they're treated differently simply for looking black. And this has happened, I know this has definitely happened among mestizo, where there are certain mestizo that just look black. And so they get associated or paired up with the black experience, and so they would be living the life of effectively a black person under that basis, though they themselves wouldn't technically be black by race. But yeah, there is a social construct to blackness, if you will. Let's see, Merkin, your view is just anti-science. Very true, very true. Lol, non-binary is trans, huh? Interesting. No, those you can be non-binary as well as trans.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, can you be non-binary and trans? Can you be non-binary?
Probably not. It's
and
like
trans?
a different category.
That's a strange.
altogether.
Okay, so it says here you can be both trans and non-binary. In fact, many non-binary people identify as transgender because trans is a broad umbrella term for anyone whose gender identity differs from the sex that they were assigned at birth. Okay, fair enough. I get it. No one is assigned non-binary at birth. Identifying as non-binary technically falls under the transgender umbrella. However, gender labels are highly personal because individual experiences. Some non-binary people choose to use both labels, while others prefer to identify only as non-binary and not use the term trans. Okay, fair enough.
But isn't it the other way around? I mean, isn't like non-binary like the umbrella term?
No. Does not appear to be that way.
That's what I...
Anyway, we are taking calls. Phone number is 202-998-5218. Call in. Let's have a discussion. More than happy to hear you out. Let me see. Where's my fishing pole? We want the fishing pole out. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
We're just waiting for that fish.
Hopefully they're going to bite.
Hopefully.
Just gotta wait, man. It's kind of like it's exactly like fishing. Yeah, it's like patience is also. It's like you don't have to scare them away, you know.
Let's see. The STEELMAN says, "LOL. No, I'm saying you cannot take drugs that make you not yourself." Yo, that is not true. I am sure that there are lots of drugs. Yeah, drugs do literally that. Yeah, exactly.
Have you never seen people that drink alcohol and they're just like a different person after drinking alcohol? It's like that's the main thing for drugs. They just make you do things you wouldn't do otherwise.
Yeah.
Which is basically means it's like they just make you not be yourself.
It's okay, dude. Don't worry. Trans women don't want to date you. You're shadow boxing. I think he's talking to the STEELMAN. And I'm
probably
going to say that it is a high probability that straight women don't want to date him either.
Oh, dude, have you seen?
Got him.
Have you seen So look, there was like this chick. She was doing like a TikTok.
Yeah.
And she was so pissed that her brother identified as a Republican to his girlfriend, and his girlfriend dumped him. You know, because he was a Republican.
All right, here we go. You're on the line with First Amender.
Hey, First Amender. This is the STEELMAN. Good to chat with you.
Hey, STEELMAN. What would you like to talk about?
Oh, well, I was actually talking with Bay in the chat, and I saw that you had made a comment on it, and so I wanted to kind of clear that up.
Okay.
And kind of touch it.
Go for it.
Yes. Yeah, so Bay was, and I think this is the argument here, is that they're not allowed to play sports, and there's a rights violation there. And I'm not sure what the rights violation is. And here's why. They have a ban against like certain drugs like steroids, for example, in sports. So if you can't take steroids and play sports, is that a rights violation?
Is that a rights violation?
Yeah, according to your theory and Bay's theory.
I think well, his name's Bro, but
or whatever it is.
So it depends.
Well,
for example, you may need to medically take a steroid, right? For example, if you have low T, you'd probably take some form of a steroid or something that allows for the production of testosterone or the synthesis or the absorption of testosterone wherever the endocrinological malady exists, which would be perfectly acceptable in sports.
Okay, I mean, yeah. So I guess what I don't get is like, see what they're. I mean, I would say that it's sort of leveling the playing field. They're saying like, if you're a guy or if you were born a male, and then you want to play female sports, you can't. Just like a person on steroids can't just go in and say, well, I'm going to take steroids and play sports. They say you can't do that. If I'm a man, they're going to say, well, you can't play female sports. And I just don't get how there's a rights violation there. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So at first, I mean, I was kind of in your position where if you're a man, you cannot play female sports because men typically have a higher performance, right, versus women. Is that true? You agree with that?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Okay. And the problem that I have with that argument is there actually exists cisgendered women who have the same advantages.
Oh, well, so hold on. By cisgender, I'm not like totally, what is a cisgender woman that has these same advantages? What is that?
Biological women.
Oh, that are like strong. Yeah, like that are just
Yep.
stronger women than other. There's like in any.
For example, right? Like you could, for example, synthesize testosterone differently than most other women, which result in you having a more man-like body. And of course, this would affect your performance in a positive way. Do you think that the cisgendered women should be banned from sports?
I mean, so you mean if a woman is born like stronger than other women, should she be banned from sports? Is that kind of where you're going with this?
Yes. Should a cisgendered woman be banned from sports because it's unfair to regular women?
Sorry, what is a cisgender woman again?
A biological woman. Cis just means same gender as their sex.
Okay, so if a person who's born a woman is stronger than the average woman, then should she be banned? Was that what you were saying? Well, no, because she's not on no. But again, so this is the drug issue, right? So there's a lot, like you can't even smoke marijuana and like play in a lot of these sports. You know what I'm saying? Or do cocaine or something that, or even say heroin or something. I wouldn't even consider that a performance enhancing drug, right? But these people think, okay, well, I can just take all these other drugs, and they should be given a blanket. It's discrimination for them, but they don't seem to be having any problem with the guy who's smoking marijuana or the guy who's on steroids or anything like that. They're not saying there's a violation there, which maybe there is. If you want to go down that road and say everyone should be free to do whatever drugs they want, and it's a rights violation.
Well, you've actually contradicted yourself.
Where at?
So the contradiction exists where I asked, why are men and women separate from sports? You said you conceded that it is a performance difference between men and women. That's why they're separated.
Well, okay, then if that's not their issue, then would you agree then that regular men, not transgender men?
Hold on, I didn't even mention what the contradiction
okay, if I
was.
follow your logic, then all men, regardless of whatever they identify as, should be able to play in women's sports. Would you agree with that?
Identify as should be in women's sports. No, I disagree with that.
Why?
Because men typically are stronger than women.
Well, you just made my argument then. You
just
contradicted yourself in the same way.
No, because I'm okay with there being a small group of people that wish to compete as a trans woman, provided that they present what's the performativity of being trans or of being woman. They have to possess the performativity. That's very important.
What do you mean possess? Well, then if that's important, I want to understand. What do you mean they have to possess a performativity? I don't understand what that means.
So the performativity is not referring to like performance, to be clear, right? It's not referring to like a conscious actor playing a role. There are roles that you yourself present as both conscious and unconscious decisions that you make in order to present yourself as male.
But why would that matter if it's all performance based? If I'm
no, stop. It's not performance. It is not performance. I keep having to, it is referring
Yeah,
to performativity, right? It is the daily conscious and unconscious choices that you make to present yourself as that particular gender. For example, when you go clothes shopping, you're not actively going to the women's section and buying a sundress. You're probably wearing clothes to appear male. You probably walk in a way that is male. You probably talk in a way that's similar to male. So I'm saying that you have to possess the performativity of female in order to be in the women's sports. This prevents somebody who doesn't have any exhibition of female in their external display, which would result in that. So,
but then where
what?
I'm going with this, right? My next question would be, why would that matter then? Why can't a guy play in women's sports?
Because that's how we determine gender.
But I'm going to say that, well, there's a rights violation there. Why can't I, as a guy who, let's just say I'm even a weak guy, and everyone, all the women on the team
you
are
can go to
stronger
the
than
men's
me.
division and compete just fine. Your rights are not being curtailed
why
by
can't the
having
trans person?
a separate women's division, and trans women being in the women's division doesn't really prevent any woman's ability to compete. In fact, trans women who possess the performativity of female, they literally reduce their ability to compete in the sport by taking hormone replacement therapy.
I'm conceding on this point that there's no difference between men and women as far as some women can outperform men naturally or whatever. So then why can't men, and why do men and women have to have separate sports in the first place?
Because men tend to be stronger than women.
But that was my whole point in the beginning, and you said that doesn't matter because there's it can go both ways. There can be women that outperform men.
I'm saying that when people. Maybe a concession could be made. Do you think that if a trans woman is taking hormone replacement therapy, they would be able to compete since that they have reduced their performance level?
Well, none of that even matters because, like you said, there could be a whole team full of women that are stronger than men.
Sure.
Yeah. So my point being is that if you're
they would be just as strong as men. There are cisgendered women who have this.
Just a minute,
I'm just saying, like, the idea that trans women should get excluded because of a performance difference is total LARP. It doesn't actually make any sense when you break it down.
And I'm saying if it doesn't make any sense, then there's no reason that any man should be excluded from women's sports, whether he's dressing like a woman or not.
Not all, but most men do not possess the performativity of female.
But why would that even matter?
Because of the strength difference. I don't know why are you okay?
But you just said performativity has nothing. Hold on. You just said performativity has nothing to do with
I'm
strength
saying that there are,
right?
if we're talking about the separation is based on performance, then obviously, like, are you saying like what? That if there are women strong enough, they should be in the men's, and then there are men that are strong enough, they should be in the women's? What do you think?
Well, no, I'm saying if I want to follow your trail, and I'm not totally against it, but then you have to follow it all the way through and just say, why don't we just stop the segregation of sexes in general and just have it unified sports?
Well, I'm willing to acknowledge that there's differences between men and women. Are you? You're more progressive than I am. Look at you.
Well, yeah, I'm following your trail logically, and I do think it's I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, sure, but I think that just because
trans women can compete.
Okay, but now don't hang up on me. I'm saying that trans women can compete only if non-trans women can also compete.
Okay.
Because otherwise, you're having a right.
You're more progressive. I disagree with that, but you're more progressive than me on it, I guess.
Okay, and that's why I'm saying now you have turned what you call a rights violation into a rights violation on other people. Because you're saying now. As long as
where did I violate people's rights?
Here's how you're saying if you're not buying women's clothes and walking like a woman, then you can't play in our sports. But this guy can as long as he walks like a woman and buys heels.
Well, no. It's more than just that, right? I've already addressed to you what perform. You're trying to make into like a caricature of what I'm trying to address with you regarding performativity. right? It's
Well,
not. It's
can't you
not
be- okay,
simply
hold
as
on.
simple
I am.
as
You
a
made it into a
performance
caricature.
where
Hold on.
where it's an actor that's playing a role. It's not the same
But you
thing.
did. No, you made it into that because you said it depends on how they dress, how they walk. Can't I be a trans woman and still be a tomboy?
Hey, dude, are you okay? Is everything okay?
Well, I just don't like it. You're
Why are
filibustering.
you
You're
freaking
interrupting
out?
because you're not letting me land any fucking plane. Just interrupting me the whole time.
No, hold on. I did let you talk plenty, right?
All right.
We don't have to
All
get
right,
into
I'll
the
let you talk
weird meta of the discussion, right? You can handle yourself like an adult, right?
Well, I know how you like to hang up on people once they start gaining ground. I
don't see any ground has been gained whatsoever.
Okay, then let's.
You sound
start
like you're
here.
stammering all over
So
yourself
are you
when
gonna
you're trying
let
to
me know
address it.
when I can? Let me know when I can say something and land the plane. Then.
Go ahead, land the plane.
All right. So when you were talking about performative stuff, and you were saying, well, if they look like if they dress like a woman, and they and they try to act like a woman, well, then they should be able to, as long as they're on the drugs as well. And I'm saying there's a lot of women who don't dress like women, who don't walk and talk like women, but there still are women, and they might even be straight. And I'm saying, what if you were a trans person who was a tomboy? Then they're not allowed to play because they don't buy heels and walk like a woman.
Allowed to play because they are a tomboy.
And what you're calling is if they're not doing the performative act.
I mean, I guess
woman,
it comes into the question of like what level of performativity is required, in which case that's fine. I guess
so
that's a good critique. I don't have an exact answer for you, but I think that this is a good spot to be at, considering that's typically how we used to do this.
Okay, thank you for just getting us back on square here. Because I mean, I'm into law actually, and so when I was hearing there's this rights violation going on, I can't pin my finger down on it unless, like, I see, okay, people, like I said,
Well, it's the discrimination of trans people is what I observe.
But I would say then that's a discrimination of non-trans people at that point also.
No.
You're saying, well,
are you? Let me ask you this, right? Would you say that if there were a bunch of white people that would prefer to not sit next to a black person when eating at a restaurant, is a black person impeding on the rights of white people that don't want to sit next to a black person?
Sorry, that's kind of tough. I'm not really sure. It's like if I'm not sure. Like, let me see. If there's a, I mean, I would say. I'm guessing the answer to this.
This is not a difficult question, by the way. It's a pretty no, obviously
well,
not.
well,
a black
it
person has a right to be in a restaurant, right?
Right, just like.
Okay,
just like
so
a guy
I believe
right,
that trans women have a right to be in
Hold on.
the women's sports.
But what I don't get is why doesn't a non-trans woman have a right to be in sports also?
They do have a right to be in sports.
Right, but he doesn't have a right to play in women's sports because.
What? Sorry, what?
But why can't a man who's born a man play in women's sports?
Born a man can't play in a woman's
is that somehow
sports.
violating their rights because he wants to play on their team?
Yeah, I just think that you should have the performativity of women. Otherwise, no, they would not be able to compete. They would have to be in the men's division.
Right, and in performativity, you mean they have to act and dress and all that shit. So now you're saying tomboy women.
Again, it's not a stage play. It's the act of doing your gender. It's consistent daily actions that you are making, both conscious and unconscious, that lead to you exhibiting yourself as male or female.
Okay, so then you're saying that a lesbian woman who's a tomboy shouldn't be allowed in women's sports?
No.
Even if she's born a woman, because she's not doing the performative stuff and she's not presenting herself as a real woman.
It. I don't know what else to tell you, man.
How is that any different? Okay, and then my next point, and maybe you will agree with me on this, is that the fact that, I don't know if you know this, but endogamy, which I mentioned in text earlier or chat earlier, is actually illegal. It's illegal for adult siblings to have sex in almost any state, even if there's no reproductive consequence possible. That's still illegal. Now, I'm assuming you would agree with me that is also a violation of rights.
What is endogamy?
So it's like a brother and sister. If you have two adult brother and sisters, and say they're both like I said,
So
adults,
incest?
same age. Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe that incest should be illegal, but yeah, also ew.
Why do you say ew to that then? My question is that because
I mean, the
you think
difference
it's okay
is that regarding trans women, they are creating laws to prevent even adult trans people from exhibiting their rights. And I myself am not preventing people that are interested in incest to not engage in incest, nor would I even argue to have laws against incest. But at the same time, you know, I could be grossed out by it.
So do
Just
you see
like
why
you
other
have a
people
right
could
to be grossed out by trans women.
Right, but if I say that, then all of a sudden I'm a transphobe and I'm an evil person according in your eyes, or a bad person, or I'm you know, all this shit, right? So, and I'm saying, you realize that the
difference is that I'm not advocating for laws. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, but it is the right that is openly advocating for laws to discriminate against trans people.
Well, you are advocating for laws because you think it should be illegal for me to play in women's sports because I haven't got a sex change and I'm not on drugs and I'm not buying heels.
What? I'm saying that you have to possess the performativity of woman. That's all. And by the way, that's how we used to do it, right? We weren't sitting there doing, you know, biological tests on every woman. They would just do a quick physical and be done with it. They'd be like, you're a woman. If you possessed enough characteristics of woman, you went into the women's division. That's how it worked.
Well, they're usually I think that's because it wasn't this big thing where people were taking these drugs and getting sex changes.
Well, to be fair, right, there were women that weren't that. But anyway, I just want to point out that.
Yeah, it was probably going under the radar and nobody either knew about it. If they did know about it, then they probably
hold on, give me one quick second. So drop table account 1820 says LMAO groomer now wants to add incest to the list of acronyms. So yeah, drop table account, that's a ban. No, I do not argue or advocate for any illegal decisions. Anyway, enjoy the ban. Yeah, never do that again. It's $20 to get unbanned, by the way. If you have a separate account where you can get unbanned, it's $20 and you can put in the name. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Steelman.
Oh no, that's cool. But all right, that's all. I was just, I just think there's weird lines, like as far as, like I said, tomboy, lesbians, that aren't really acting performative, and then men who aren't performing as women, but are maybe weaker than women, maybe weaker than the average man, but still aren't allowed to play in women's sports. And maybe, my next question would be, can a gay man who acts like a woman, they're still banned from women? Like, do they have to have do they have to be the whole drugs and surgery and stuff to be classified as a woman to play women's sports?
I mean, I personally think that if you wanted like a middle point, that you probably should have hormone replacement therapy for 2 years to ensure that your performance, and not the performativity, but your physical performance is lower to that of such other women.
Okay, but then, like I was saying, then you're getting on the spectrum of performance-based, like just physical performance-based. Then shouldn't we just be categorizing all sports in that, like the heavyweight and lower weight and all that shit? Like,
yeah, we already do that. Sure, I mean that could be an argument. Sure, at least that's an inclusionary argument as opposed to what we're currently doing.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm down for, is an inclusionary argument that we're not creating one class.
I think Judith Butler actually agrees with you as well.
Well, yeah, because what I noticed is by trying to protect a class, they're actually discriminating and creating a new class of discrimination against other people, So in order to wipe that out, and we should just not violate anybody's rights and do something like that, like all inclusionary somehow,
Appreciate your call, Steelman.
Okay, and then I'm going to get off your train, but I just wanted to point out the last thing I wanted to notice about the you thing is that it's totally illegal for guys, to be together no matter what their age, no matter what their race, as far as adults. So like you could have an 18-year-old adult white man with a 100-year-old, black dude or whatever, and that's totally okay in the law's eyes and even in everybody's eyes, and they can be trans and all that stuff. But if you have a healthy adult brother and sister, everyone says ew to that. And so I just wanted to throw that out there, and I think that's another class of discriminated people that I think should be looked at and not be discriminated against. And thank you for the time, man. I appreciate it.
Yep. You have a great day, Steelman.
Thanks, you too. Peace.
Can I ask something? Does he think?
That guy stole my argument.
Does he think that you can't be grossed by something I mean, it's like, again, it's like
if I'm being
you can
discriminatory,
be
to
grossed by somebody
incest
that you.
people.
Yeah,
But
you can be
it's-
grossed by trans people and not want to take away their rights.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like, really?
that would be the difference, right? Is like with trans people, they are writing laws to discriminate against trans people, and I mean, like I could be grossed out by incest. I'm not grossed out by trans people at all, but sure, with incest, yeah, I think it's kind of gross. I also think that there's a lot of negative health outcomes towards the family where it creates coercive relationships. And so it's just best to be against incest in general, not just from like a disgust point of view, but also just like a human point of view. It doesn't make sense to argue. But once again, like I am a firm advocate of consenting adults choosing to do with their bodies as they see fit. As long as they're consenting adults, I don't really give a shit. Go have at it, dude. I am not gonna shit on you as a person for making a decision I disagree with. It has nothing to do with me. Anyway, we are taking calls. Phone number is 202-998-5218. Hope to hear from you guys. Let's see here.
Also, I gotta say, I was a bit. Remember when he said when you asked him about about the black man, if it's encroaching on his right to not sit next to a black man.
He
it kind of felt like he wanted to say
like
yes,
stammering.
but he didn't know how to say it.
He was stammering.
Like,
he was like,
I would really want to say yes, but then I
was
would
like,
out
what is
myself
happening?
as a racist.
Why is it hard to explain?
How do I
to
say
understand?
this? Oh.
I didn't understand that. I was like, this is not a hard question, by the way. This is a very quick
Not at all.
answer. This is like the easiest thing to answer. Anyway, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get some water. We're taking calls. Phone number 202-998-5218. You guys want to call in, have a discussion, we can do so. More than happy to hear you out. Okay, I got this ice. Let me just make sure there's no, I guess, coffee?
By the way, he took my trans arguments.
Well, with incest?
No, not with the incest.
You wanted to talk about incest too?
No. No, thank you.
All right, here we go. Got some soda water.
How are the temperatures in your side of the world,
hot.
Commander?
It's hot. It's hot.
Hot.
I
was sweating my
let's pull up
balls
the
off.
Florida
out there
temperature today. So yes, it was 87, which in European that's 31, with an 81% humidity.
Bro,
Yeah,
in New Jersey, it's
worse.
97.
Did you really? Wow.
Yeah, we had
Wow. worse
in here, so I don't know why you're
Wow.
complaining. I
Dude.
thought you really had it bad. But
No, but
that's fine.
we're
No.
gonna get like a 90, like a 95. We're getting
Okay,
that's
so
happening.
We had like a
I'll be honest
38
with you.
and around like 70% humidity. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what a 38 is. Let me look it up.
So we're gonna be getting 35 Celsius, which that's bad. That's gonna be bad with the humidity.
Yeah, so we had 38. That's 100.4 in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's wild. That's very high. It's very high.
Well, right now it's 35 in New Jersey.
Steelman says, so, wow, what's with the slur, dude? So I'm assuming like women that are butch are banned from women's sports? No, not necessarily. I mean, if you're asking for like a defined, like what is the level of performativity? I don't know. I think that would require careful
Amanda.
consideration.
Tell me if I'm stupid, if I'm not understanding this, but like, do usually like lesbians identify as men? Because I don't think they identify as men.
They don't.
Right? It's like,
They don't.
Am I just insane?
Yeah.
Of course not. They really identify as women, right? So they wouldn't be banned from sports because their performativity is going to be that of a woman, right? Yeah, there's multiple types of women. No two women are the same, right? It's a vast way of behavior, right?
Yeah, so
of
we are
behavior.
That's not
taking
what he's
calls.
saying.
Phone number is 202-998-5218. If you guys have or would like to call in, call in. I'd love to hear from you. Let's have the discussion. We had some earlier calls today. That was pretty good, but we're looking for more. If I don't get any calls in the next, I don't know, minute or so, I'm going back to RuneScape. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to play RuneScape. Let's see here. Timer 1 minute.
Promises.
All right, here we go. Yep. Here, timer's on. We have 55 seconds. Well, if I don't get a call within a minute, I'm going back to RuneScape because my brain is TikTok.
I hope somebody saves us from your bad gameplay.
My bad game.
Sorry,
Daniel!
like your expert gameplay. I wanted to make
Daniel!
expert professional
How
gameplay.
dare you shit on my game. We're taking calls. Come on, call in. 30 seconds. Call in. Otherwise, I'm playing RuneScape, bro. I'm playing RuneScape. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to play some RuneScape. Oh, here. Music. Let's see. Even butch women still identify as women, thus they can participate in trans sports. Or just, women's sports, I guess.
But that's not the argument. He's saying if the women butch women act like men, So he's that's the argument.
I get what you're saying. And that's a good argument, I guess. I don't really have an answer for that, which is fair. So I admit that I don't really know the exact
I think
point
they act
of
more
performativity,
manly.
I guess.
But I don't think they identify as women, as men. Sorry, I mean, they still identify as women. It's like you wouldn't go to a lesbian woman and just tell her, "Oh, you're a man." She would just look at you like weird, like you're like a moron. It's like, what?
I would get the impression they wouldn't want to be called a woman either.
Of course they would. What do you mean? Of course they would. That's the whole thing. They're lesbian.
I think the studs. If you ever met a stud, they really don't want to be. They don't consider themselves like the typical woman. They're like it's very male, very like chud energy from studs.
Okay, well, it's like, and do they want to be seen as men or do they want to be seen as women? Because that is the important question there, right?
I mean, they dress like your stereotypical guy.
No, I get it. It's like they dress like, right? But it's like, everybody can wear a pair of pants or.
No, they act. I mean, they act tough. They're very like demanding. Like they're very they have the one they have like the dominant posture and whatever. If you ever seen
it's like you can have like gay men. It's like, do you think gay men identify as women?
No,
just because they're like more submissive and they act like a bit more womanly. No, not necessarily. Again, just because they act in a specific way and they tend to be towards more like the feminine or masculine side doesn't mean they identify with that specific gender.
Yeah, but that cuts against Amender's argument because he's saying the performativity. The performativity is how you judge.
I mean, I guess like there's probably going to need to be like a defined delineation point. And honestly, like I don't have that answer yet, but I think it's possible to reach through performativity.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. It's like cool. It's like you do have the performativity and everything, but it's like I don't know why everybody wants to look at these things which are not black and white to just see them as being a black and white. It's like, dude, there's no clear line between these things. There is no clear line. It's like I don't know why we should just keep looking for the line that's not there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I'll say most people kind of put things in categories just to go on through their day. It's not. They don't go too deep into it. When we get deep into it, that's where we get a little confused. But if you saw a trans woman and she passes, I don't think anybody would, unless you're lying. Anybody would say, "Oh yeah, that's a woman or that's a man." Like those pictures you showed, that's clear. Like at a glance or even at a close look, it'd be hard to say. You know what I mean? But when it comes to like and when you get in depth with the nitty gritty, like sports and all that stuff, then you kind of have to evaluate everything.
I operate on a basis that society should be inclusive, not exclusive. If there is an exclusion, there needs to be a very good reason why that exclusion exists. Does that make sense?
I mean, for society in certain aspects, like when it comes to government, yeah. But when it comes to sports, I mean, you could split it up how you can have a league that's only for disabled people, right? They have the Special Olympics,
Which they do, right?
Yeah. So
why is that the case? And by the way, it's like even in those leagues, they're not all the same, right? Because even there, it's like depending on your disability, you could have like a prosthesis, for example, that can make you much more efficient, right? In a specific sport. And it's like when it comes to sports, it's like the way we differentiate these things, it's also arbitrary, right? It's like we just decide, it's like, okay, it's like we need to try to make it as fair as possible. But the reality is that in high level sports, it's never going to be fair, right?
Did you know
there's
that
always
there
going to be outliers of people just like crazy?
There are actually people that are at the top performance. A lot of people like to assume that people that are the top echelon of their sport must have a crap ton of testosterone. That's actually not true. There's tons and tons of people that actually lack testosterone yet are at the top echelon of their sport. Testosterone in and of itself is just a chemical. It's not enough to actually match what is required in order to be the top echelon of your sport. There's a mix of maybe there's like some genetics, but as well a much larger amount of being at the top of your sports, of a physical sport, is you got to practice a lot.
No, but Amanda,
like
do
all
you
the
know
time,
that
actually.
sometimes you need to be lucky on when you're born in the year?
Oh, really?
What?
Because depending on when you're born in the year, so it's like, I don't know, it's like if they still do it this way. I heard that they changed the thing after the study, but there was a study made, right? And they were looking at, I think it was ice hockey, and they were looking at the fact that in ice hockey, it's like a lot of most of the players in professional ice hockey, they were born kind of in the same like 3 months of the year or something like that. And that was like pretty weird, right? Because it's like if you go in any workplace, people are just going to be born like, throughout the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like you're going to have birthdays throughout the year. It wasn't that thing in professional ice hockey. And, they went and they kind of like investigated these things, and they what they saw is that the way you started to learn ice hockey, you were like a young, like a 5-year-old or like 6-year-old, and you go to a club and you start practicing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's say it's like you're a 5-year-old, but so you have to be 5-year-old when you enroll,
Mm-hmm.
right? But there's a difference, because if your birthday was yesterday, right, you're literally like a 5-year-old and 1 day. But your teammate could be 5-year-olds and 360 days. Because when he enrolled, he was 5 years old. But clearly there's like a year difference between the two of you. Almost, right? So
Interesting.
That other 5-year-old is actually going to be bigger, stronger, faster, right?
Oh, that's wild.
Just because of that year. And because of that, the coaches are going to pay more attention to that one because it does more than you do,
wow.
right? So depending
That's wild.
on your birthday, you could just be fucked, right? Like
That's
literally
wild.
you could just be fucked, because it's like you will never get the attention, because you're always going to have a teammate, somebody that's older and therefore stronger, faster than you.
That's
Period.
wild.
Hey, that's interesting.
So how do you deal with that, right? And people come and say, oh, like trans women in sports. So like, cool, dude, it's all arbitrary. It's about luck, right? It's like you could just have the genetics. You could have like one specific gene that did something to you that makes you better in a specific sport. Like that guy in swimming, right? That won like everything. He was just like a freak of nature.
By the way, y'all,
Michael Phelps.
by the way, FYI, the phone lines are open. Feel free to call in. Phone number is 202-998-5218. If you guys want to call in and have a discussion, more than happy to. Right now, I'm just kind of playing some RuneScape. And look, I have 1337 Bologano fruit. That means I have
Oh my
a
God.
amount of
If I'm
Bologano
here
fruit.
about Bologano fucking fruit again. God damn. But let me
I need
ask
to
you
get
this,
4,000 more of these, bro.
Mr. Daniel. Do you you remember Leah Thomas, the swimmer? She was the transgender swimmer. Okay.
Yeah, that
Now,
one race and everybody freaked out. Yeah.
yeah. So, would you say she passes this Judith Butler performativity? You know,
I
because
think so.
I
Because
mean,
she actually she transitioned like years before. She had like a lot of like this TRT done, right?
yeah, I know she took the TRTs and all that.
HRT,
She
sorry, HRTs.
HRTs, and she
Yeah.
meets the requirements at that time. And I know now they're banned, but back then she did what was required. But according to the Judith Butler standard, do you think she would pass? And because to me, I mean, she clearly looks like a guy to me. But
I mean, there's biological women that look like her.
I mean, look, it's like look. I'm going to put in the side chat because you're here, right?
yeah, I'm here.
I'm going to put you like a picture, okay? And this was like way before like we had like all these crazy talks about like, oh my God, we shouldn't allow you know, trans women in sports and all that shit, right? So that was back in like the late 90s, I think.
By the way, y'all, we are still taking calls.
Just let me.
We are taking calls, y'all. The phone lines are open.
And no problem. But I think that I don't know that the Judith Butler thing, I think is not shouldn't be used for sports. I think it should just be used for society. You know, if you actually believe you're transgender, then yeah, you should try to look
I mean,
like
do you
it.
think,
But
like, for example, if somebody
Look in the
had
side chat.
two years of HRT, like, should they be able to compete? Considering they've lost their performative advantage, albeit, right, I believe they still have roughly like
Who
a
is that?
10% strength difference even after 2 years of HRT. But I'm perfectly willing to accept that, considering that there are cisgendered women who possess the same advantages.
is that a woman in the?
That is a woman. Yes, that is her name is Svetla Dimitrova. She's a Bulgarian athlete back in like the late 90s. I mean, no,
Gotcha.
she won some gold and silvers in the you know, like
I'm gonna go ahead and
track
display
field.
that for everybody to see. Give me a moment.
And she's
She's a woman.
but she's not
she's a woman.
Yeah, so apparently,
okay.
Not
so
trans,
this,
not anything.
like, this is just a woman. It's not even a it's just a woman, just really buff. Holy crap.
Okay.
She looks very manly, right? I
She
mean,
does.
that's, you know, unfortunately for her, she looks manly. It is what it is, right? Like, also she's like
Well,
an
this is-
athlete. You know,
this
you
is-
can see a lot of muscles and everything.
But this
But,
is
you
what
know-
this this is what cuts against the argument about Judith
No, it
Butler.
doesn't. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
all right.
I don't care about Butler and whatever, right? It's like what
Okay.
I care is about people. I don't care that, you know, somebody has like this specific definition. What I care is about is like this athlete, right? She competed way before like any trans bullshit, right? In the world, right? And people just going against trans people because they're like a minority that you can bully. Okay? Imagine if she competed today. If she competed today, every motherfucker around would just say, "Oh, that's a man. That's not a woman. Let's see her vagina. Let's see her DNA. Let's see her chromosomes." Right? That's what every motherfucker would say. Like every conservative motherfucker would say the same thing, right?
Yeah, but all the assholes, yeah, but like genuine people. I mean, they.
No,
what's
I get
that
it, but
girl?
like those assholes, there's a lot of them. It's like you can't just say genuine people, right? Because this thing literally happened with the Mane Khalif, right? The boxer from Morocco.
That
Was he
did
from
happen.
Morocco? Right? It's the same thing.
This is what I'm saying.
telling
It's
you,
like there are
because
biological
transphobia-
women that literally look trans, and then they're just like a not passing trans person, and they have a great deal of performance amongst other cisgendered women, and so it's like, wait, if they
I
can
mean, it's
compete, why
unfortunate.
are trans women not allowed to compete?
It's unfortunate that I would say that woman, I would say she's ugly. I'm not judging her, but that's my opinion. It's unfortunate that some ugly women are judged like that, but that's just part of life. That's how the life goes. Like you can't, uh, you know, like that girl. What's her name? Brittany Griner, right? She's a woman. She's a star athlete in the women's basketball, but she definitely looks like a guy, but she's a woman, right? I don't see a lot of hate going towards her way.
Who?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Brittany Griner.
I don't know who that is. Sorry.
She was all in the news a few years ago because she got arrested in Russia for some weed, and then
yeah, I remember. Yeah. What
Yeah.
about her? Is she also
Well,
trans or?
she's a woman. No, she's a woman. It's just a straight up woman, but definitely
trans
looks like
This is the thing with transphobia, and this is what I wanted to say like earlier. It's like the thing is like transphobia will always affect cis women, right? Because you're always going to have the women, because everybody's just going to do trans investigations. Like every time you have a transphobe, every transphobe, as soon as they see a woman, right, they will see, they will have to do a trans investigation, right? And if they don't believe that's a woman, right?
Sorry, never mind.
I don't know.
Transvestigation.
Transvestigation, right?
We're gonna
And this hurts cis women. It hurts them. Imagine you're seeing like that Bulgarian athlete going into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
What
she's
are they
gonna
gonna
have
say?
some
Oh
problems.
my God, it's a man, it's a man. Oh, why are you going there? Oh, I want to piss and shit. It's like everybody does in a bathroom, right?
Yeah, but just
keep this in mind. It's like, dude, it's like back in the 80s, we had the same conversations we had right now, but about gay people. Oh,
Sure.
should gay people be allowed in bathrooms? Oh, should gay people be allowed in sports? Oh, should gay people be allowed in changing rooms? Oh, should gay people do this or do that, right?
By the way, y'all,
back
make
then,
sure you guys are
gay
hitting
people,
the.
there's
Hold
more.
on a sec. By the way, y'all, make sure you guys are hitting the like button, hit the subscribe. If you like these kinds of conversations, if you like this kind of stuff, let YouTube know that, hey, I like this kind of stuff, and it does help in the algorithm a lot if you do that. So I really appreciate it. Thank y'all very much. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
So
I think
the only difference back then, and I'm going to tell you why it's so easy for Republicans to demonize trans people, is because there's more gay people, like percentage-wise, than trans people. Trans people are like an extremely small minority, and with gay people, most people knew somebody that was gay, right? So they could put a face to the whole thing, right? And it's like it was like really a lot harder to hate gay people. Because you knew gay people, you saw them everywhere.
You don't know who's gay because you don't know how people sleep. Who they sleep with at night. It's hard to.
Yeah, but as soon as somebody came out, right? It's like some people did come out, and it's like you had your cousin that you knew your whole life. Like great guy. He's like you did a lot of things together, and then he comes out to be gay, and it's like, oh, dude, it's like, how should I hate him now? And the answer for most people was like, fuck no, right? Obviously, you'll have like the stupids, right, that would start to just hate them because they're gay and God said, thou shalt not suffer gay people, But most people just reacted the normal way, which is like, wait, I was just stupid before, just don't.
I just want to correct one thing that you said. It's not the Republicans that just hate trans. It's all over. Democrats, Republicans. It's individuals.
I corrected myself, and I think it's mostly like conservative people.
Conservative people,
or like reactionaries, as I would call them.
I mean, it's not political. I mean, there are some transgender Republicans.
Hear this out, Daniel. Daniel, AWOL Thoughts just says, "Wow, I actually agree with Daniel on that point. And cats were marrying dogs." and sausages started raining down from the skies. It's the apocalypse. AWOL and Daniel agree on something.
Yo,
Dude, it's like he
AWOL,
agrees with
that's
me.
my man.
It's
Hold
like
on,
if I
bear-
were to explain
Be
stuff
right
to
back. Give me a quick
AWOL,
second.
like I would make him a socialist. I
Give me one
swear
second.
to fucking God, because I don't think AWOL actually knows that a lot of
No
things,
way.
right?
No,
And
no.
I could explain to him. No, trust me. A lot of people don't really understand because, especially as an American, you need to understand you've been brainwashed your whole life to just say that socialism bad. And
Well,
why you wouldn't be able to say why and actually be right about it, right? You just say
I just don't.
the
I
things
can tell you
you've been
why.
taught to.
I could tell you because I don't believe the workers should be in charge of production or anything like that. They're just.
But the
They're just
workers are in charge of production. You do know that.
no,
right?
no. They
No?
are. They are just a
Who do you
cog
think?
in the.
Who do you think produces stuff? In fact,
The person
do you think
who
is the
came up with it.
CEO?
Yes.
No. Do you think
yes.
the CEO is producing stuff?
Yes.
Oh, man. If you could show me,
I can show
me
you.
a
I can
picture
show you.
of Jeff Bezos on the assembly line, like doing boxes, dude, I
No.
would give you all the money
That's-
that I have.
Sir, that
That's
is
a lot of
not.
money.
That's not how you produce things. You don't produce
Of
things
course,
by.
that's how you produce things.
No. Let me
How do you
say
think?
this.
How do you think you produce things?
Okay, you need to get resources and be able to put people in
Who gets the
positions.
resources? You keep saying
The
you keep
CEO.
saying
The CEO.
the CEO gets the resources. Dude, the CEO
Yes.
doesn't get anything.
He-
The CEO signs pieces of paper. You know what the CEO
Those
does?
pieces of
The
payment are
CEO
commit.
tells other people, "Oh, you do this, you do that," and also,
Yeah, but he takes all
just
the
so we're
risk.
very clear. Just so we're very clear, you could literally go right now, and you could get companies, and you could see companies that had no CEO for like a very long period of time, and they did really well without
It
a
had
CEO.
at one point.
Like
it had a
CEOs,
CEO.
CEOs are some of the least useful jobs out there because the CEO
That is ridiculous.
for
That's
most
ridiculous.
companies, a CEO does absolutely nothing. But
The
if
CEO is the
workers-
most important.
No,
He's
it's
the head
not.
of
It's
the.
the least important. It's the least
Listen,
important. You know why?
all right, let
I'm
me-
gonna tell you why. No,
Wait,
just
let
let
me
me tell
tell-
you
let me-
why.
Yo,
Let
we're
me
taking
tell you
calls,
how-
by
Well,
the way.
dude, I
We're
need
still
to tell you
taking
why, 'cause
calls,
you
y'all.
said something.
All right,
We're
go
just
ahead.
waiting
You
for
said
calls.
something which is like incredibly silly, right?
Okay,
Because I
okay,
literally
okay.
told you there were companies which, the CEO, something happened to him, he was fired by the board and whatever, right? And they had months with no
Mm-hmm.
CEO. The company was perfect. What
But
do
they
you
had a
think would happen
CEO.
to that? No, they didn't. That's what I'm telling you. It's like a CEO is like a chief executive officer. They had no
Yeah.
CEO, right? They had everybody below the CEO, right? Just doing their
Yeah.
jobs, right? Because you can do your job without the CEO being there, right? You have your job already.
Okay.
But if that company, if you were to remove every worker in the factory, every person that actually produces the shit that
Yeah.
the business sells, the business would literally instantly collapse.
Not
Instantly.
incorrect. No, not at all.
No? Oh, really? Okay.
Well, can I talk now?
So,
Oh,
okay, cool. Please explain to me how that's not the case.
Matthew W.A. says, I don't care if you're trans, but if you demand me to tell you how to speak. Okay, so the typical position for trans people is not that they would make it illegal for you to misgender them, but specifically, like, you're just kind of being an asshole by deliberately misgendering trans people. I mean, it's not forcing you to speak a specific way, but I mean, it's like, you don't go around like cursing people out like day in and day out, right? And you don't presume that just because people get upset that you're cursing people out, that you, I mean, you have the right. You're just kind of a dick for doing it, I guess. And so I would say the only caveat to this is like, if you're like in a working environment, like I think if you are, harassing a trans woman who's just trying to work, and you are like emphasizing that they're a man, it's just a fucked up thing to do. I would say that should be illegal, if that makes any sense. Anyway, go ahead, continue.
All right. So anyway, if you were to, let's say all the work, you have a company and they are making all the stuff, and then they start to unionize and they don't want to make anything. You say your company is gonna stop. It's going to be bankrupt or whatever. It's going to be destroyed. That's not true, because obviously the workers are the least important in the company because they can be replaced very easily. The CEO is hard to replace. See, if a worker wants to change how something is made or designed or how it works, they don't know.
I will stop you here because you're literally like, I give you a question and you're literally not answering the question.
Well, I just told you they would get replaced.
No, they wouldn't. It's like you think that you could get somebody for that job and instantly they would just do it perfectly, and that's not the case.
And it happens every day. Cool. And people get fired and hired every day.
Can you show me? Can you give me an example of a company that had all its workers like fired or something happened to them and they just did very well and they had no dip in their profits? Because I can show you with companies that had no CEO and actually the stocks grew while they had no CEOs. So can you do the same thing, but for a company that lost all their workers, all the people that actually did shit, right? They produce the product.
They only do what they're hired to do. It's like they're hiring.
The same goes for the CEO. The CEO only does what he's hired to do.
Working man, I think what you wanted to argue is not the workers producing, but rather the workers' ownership of the means of production. These are different things.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the workers cannot.
I think it's fair to say it's fair to say that the workers are what is producing the product or service, right? That's fair to say. It's not CEOs aren't doing it, shareholders aren't doing it.
You didn't say that before. You said that
workers.
the CEO does that.
No. Hold on. The workers, they are a cog in the machine. The CEO is what's producing everything. They are the ones gathering all the resources.
I try to give him an out, Daniel. No.
But it's like, again, it's like he's literally saying something that's
I gave him a free out.
Factually false. It's like that's not the case.
Dude,
it's like if you have a mining company, I can guarantee you everything I have in my life, dude. I have 2 houses. I would give you everything if you would show me that in a mining company, the CEO goes inside the fucking mine and actually mines the thing the mining company mines.
He doesn't. That would be the dumbest thing ever. You would never want to do that for a company. That's what you said.
That's what you said. You said that is the CEO that is actually
the product is not that. The product is not the workers. The product is the coal, right? Is whatever they're mining. So they need to have a way.
Who mines? Okay, so who mines the coal, right?
No. The question is that's the wrong. That's the wrong.
That was my question. You can't say it's a wrong question if that was my fucking question. Okay,
it's not the right starting
You're not deciding what my question was. That's for sure. So I'm asking you, right? If you have a mining company that mines coal, right? I'm asking you, who gets the coal from the ground to the train? Is it the CEO?
The workers do.
The workers. Oh, okay. So let me.
And who gets the pickaxes?
Let me see if I can understand this. Let me see if I can understand this correctly.
Who establishes the bucket, the trucks? Who gets all the trucks together? Who gets all the land?
Oh, it's the workers. It's the workers.
Does that,
like if you're going to think. Dude, what do you think? Do you think like the workers are just like automatons,
owner pays
like with
for
no
it.
brains?
The owners pay for it.
Yeah, the owners have to get the pickaxes.
Yeah,
they have
so
to
they
get
own
the truck. They
the
have
means of production.
The permit. Yeah, they
own the means of production, right? But a lot of people can't be owners because they do not have the means of which to do so.
Exactly. But if the workers had the means, they would not be able to produce the same thing.
Daniel, I'm trying to lead the horse to water. I understand.
No, like,
we don't agree, right? At the end of the day, I'm a capitalist as well. But like at least I understand the position, I guess.
I get it, but I think it's a bad
because you've been taught your whole life, that the most important person in any company, it's a CEO. No, it's not common sense.
It's common sense.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because you've been taught it's common sense. But what common sense is like you're just producing your biases and giving your biases a name.
It has
Right?
nothing to
And
do
you're
with
just
bias.
thinking, oh, because I've been taught this, that is the correct thing, which
Here,
is
let me give you an analogy. All right, when there's a war and there's two armies, right? The point, if you kill the leader, right, there's a lot of turmoil in the army that it's easier to take to win, to get a victory if you take out the leaders and the generals. It's the same with a company. You need a leader. You need somebody to give instruction, to tell you where to go, how to do it.
That's also false in an army. Yeah, some armies.
But there's no army. Army that's won without a leader. There's always a general. There's always a leader. Has to be.
No. Can I give you like a modern example?
Sure.
Okay. So did you hear about that little war that is going right now in Iran, where the Americans and the Israelis, attacked Iran? Do you know what was the first thing they did?
Who did?
The Americans and the Israelis.
They bombed all the generals and stuff.
Yeah, exactly, right? So what they did, like the first thing they did, because they literally fought like you're thinking, right? They just thought, without the generals, no army.
Yeah.
Everybody disarray, right? So what they did exactly that, right? They just decapitated like their general staff, right? They killed all the high-level generals.
Yes.
I don't know if you're noticing, but Iran and the IRGC is still doing very well. And they actually won the war, right? And they keep winning the war, right? Until Trump is going to, realize, there's no way out.
They had some negotiations.
How do you think that happened, right? So because if what you're saying is true, right? Them decapitating the high command, right? All the major generals would just like nobody else would know how to fight, right? It's like suddenly nobody knows how to pick up a gun. Nobody knows how to fly a drone. Nobody knows how to target a ballistic missile, right? Like all these things out the window. Right? Nobody knows how to do anything.
All right, let me.
That didn't work.
All right, because everybody will still know how to shoot a gun and fly a drone, but they don't know where to take it, who to shoot, when to do it.
But again, it's like what I'm telling you is they're doing it right as we speak, right? So it's like you keep saying they wouldn't know.
What are you talking?
But the reality, what do you mean? It's
hey, we got AWOL
you do understand
in Discord.
Oh, what's up,
AWOL? You understand that Iran
gentlemen?
is literally winning this, and they're literally destroying the
There is
Americans
no war,
and the Israelis.
it's negotiations. We're just bombing the shit
AWOL,
out of them.
well, let's move on. AWOL, who did you want to talk to? Did you want to talk to me or Daniel here?
Actually, I'm just kind of sitting in the background.
Okay,
This is a
yeah,
good
no problem.
conversation.
No, go ahead,
it's
continue
AWOL.
then.
Holy
Go ahead
shit.
and continue.
Hello, AWOL.
Although, wait, I will say this though, Daniel. I props when you make good points, man. I'm not that obtuse when it comes to it.
I mean, dude, it's like I like you. I think you're wrong about a lot of things, but it's like what I like about you, and I don't like about like other people, like conservatives, is that you actually do want to have like good conversations, right? And you're not bad faith, like 90% of the time you're not bad faith. No, it's like, and I'm saying I'm putting a number behind it, right? Like sometimes you're getting like too antsy, but everybody does that. I do it probably also, right? So
Get that?
it's fine.
But what army? What war are you talking about? There was no war. I mean, we bombed them.
Right?
We bombed them, and then we told them we're gonna negotiate with the guy's son or whatever he was, and then we started doing negotiations. And that's about it. That's all that happened. No, there was no.
That's all that happened, right? Like all that happened is just that. So you're not really up. You're not really like up.
Did we send soldiers there? Did we send soldiers there?
I'm sorry. It's like, do you think a war only requires soldiers on the ground too?
But those would be the workers in this analogy.
I'm asking you. No, the workers are the soldiers that don't have to be in Iran, right? It's like, you have like, for example, if you have a soldier that it's in this like big metal thing that flies in the air, would you see that as being a soldier, or that's not actually a real soldier?
Yeah, but they're not. They didn't make that decision. A general would. So you're still not arguing.
No, I'm asking you if you think that's a soldier, right?
Yeah, but
I'm asking you if you think somebody that flies a plane, is that a soldier?
Yes, that's a soldier. Yep.
Is that soldier on the ground?
No, they're in the plane.
No, they're in a plane. Cool. So we agree that you don't have to be boots on the ground, so to speak, to actually wage a
Gotcha.
war in the modern
Okay.
era, right?
And that soldier had
now
instructions
that
from
we're
the general.
now that we agree that a modern war doesn't have to be fought on the ground, boots on the ground, or tanks, right? We can do it with like airplanes, ballistic missiles, drones, right?
Yeah, but let's just remember where this started. We're talking about workers and the mean of production, and that workers don't need a leader.
And I give you an example that actually destroys your whole idea of that, the fact that you actually do need the general, and that without the general you just lose. And I give you the counter example with Iran. And now you're just telling me that you don't exactly know what's happening in Iran, because you're first saying it's not a war, despite the fact that it is a war. You're having a negotiations. I don't know exactly what you're having negotiations for. Is that to stop the war or to stop the
Are the soldiers
war?
negotiating? Are they in the negotiation table with JD Vance?
No, but it's not the generals either that are negotiating.
What?
No, you know that generals are not the ones negotiating deals, right?
The leaderships. I'm talking about leadership.
Yeah, but it's not the leadership that is actually in charge of the war, right? It's like it's other people.
And who's being bad faith now?
Those other people, it's you, because you don't know exactly how these things work, but you're actually trying to pretend like you do know how these things work.
I'm just using logic and common sense. I'm not trying to.
You're not using logic or common sense. That's the problem. The problem is you think you're using logic and common sense, and usually when people think they're doing that, they don't really want to learn like new things, right? So you're just thinking you're doing that, but you're not doing that because I think you're at the limit of your understanding of things, right? And when people are at the limit of their understanding of things, they get really defensive about stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Hey, listen, and I got nothing against it, Daniel. I honestly, I'm enjoying the conversation.
Oh no, it's look, I'm also, I don't have anything against it. Like I'm trying to teach you some things, but it's like I'm kind of hitting a brick wall, right? And it's because I'm hitting this brick wall. It's like I'm trying to push past it, right?
I just think
you
you're
understand
wrong.
that you're an American, right? It's like you're American, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you're an American, and as an American, you've been taught your whole life a bunch of lies about the structure of work, right? Where you, as the working man, you've been taught that you're the least important. And the reality is that nothing would work without the working man. And if we go back like 6 years in 2020, that's when we saw it, right? The reason 2020 was really shit for the economy all around the world is because the working people could literally not go and do the things they had to do for companies to actually make profit and make stuff, right? And because people could literally not physically couldn't go and produce the things, that's why a lot of companies went to shit, right?
Well,
the reality is that without the CEO, those companies could have still done fairly well, because we've seen many examples of companies, no CEO, where people still did their jobs, right? Because when you hire somebody, you hire in the competence, right, that they have, right? And it's that's the important thing. It's like, if you have somebody that knows how to make a nail, that person knows how to make a nail. And the reality is that the CEO of the company might not even know how to make a nail. Does that mean that the CEO is necessarily totally... Oh, it is. Trust me. It's like,
let me back up what I'm saying.
You're just wrong.
But let me back it up before you say I'm wrong. If the CEO is the groundbreaker, this person is the one who comes up with the idea of whatever he's trying to build the company. Yeah, if I'm trying to build,
don't necessarily come up with the ideas.
CEOs don't come up with ideas.
Hold on.
Do you think the CEO of a pharmaceutical company?
CEOs just know
Do
how to
you
run
think the
business.
CEO of a pharmaceutical company came up with like any drugs? Like usually they're not even biologists or chemists. Like usually they're just like lawyers or like marketing guys or like financial people. They're not people that know how to do the things that the company does, right? They usually the people that are involved with the finances of the whole thing. They don't know how to do shit, right? They don't know how to make a nail. They don't know how to make a drug. They don't know how to make like anything.
By the way, y'all, we are taking calls. We are taking calls. Phone number is 202-998-5218. If you guys have not hit like on the video, do consider hitting like. Appreciate y'all very much. And if you're not subscribed, do hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. Go ahead, continue.
The CEO needs to know exactly.
Phone call.
Alrighty. We'll pick it up later.
You're on the line with First Amender.
Hey, what's happening, First?
Hey, how you doing, Rob? What you want to talk about?
I'm all right. Just listening to those guys going on and then making the wrong points for each one.
Like
could I get a Daniel second?
Well, you actually got to join the Discord to talk with Daniel because Daniel cannot.
Okay, I'll do that now then.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
Looks like Rob's coming after you, Daniel.
Hey, let Rob talk a little bit at least.
Yeah, we're curious. We're curious. Someone says, "Why did woke love COVID?" I don't think anybody loved COVID, bro. Even me as a wokey did not like COVID.
Yeah, COVID sucked.
COVID sucked. Nobody liked COVID. It was just awful.
Yeah.
But a brilliant social experiment, really, to see how people would deal with like a mass infection. It's a good thing that COVID wasn't anywhere close to as deadly as it could have been. It could have been much more deadly, in which case we would have been fucked because we did a terrible job.
Did we though?
Yeah, we did. We like failed on.
I think the first 2 weeks we did pretty good. The first 2 weeks,
we just failed on virtually every metric. Like it just a total shit show. Maybe like Operation Warp Speed was actually pretty good, but yeah, for most things we did terrible. Anyway, looks like we got Rob here. Go ahead, Rob. Rob and Daniel, go for
ahead,
it.
Rob.
You have the floor.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Listen, Daniel, your argument is flawed because what you're doing, you're saying the worker is more important, but as that person pointed out to you multiple times, the worker is completely completely replaceable with another worker.
So is the CEO.
No, but you're saying you're looking at it from the wrong standpoint. It's almost like a child. If you get a child from the early beginning, the parent needs to be there all the time. The CEO is often the person who created a company. I'm not talking about a company that's been in existence forever and ever. It runs automatically. General Motors, whoever else, it's going to run. They run. Whoever the CEO is every day important as long as they have workers because that company's already been created. But when in the beginning of a company, someone has to create the product. Someone has to have the idea, the financial wherewithal to do all the things that it takes to get in place to route the company. The CEO right then and there is more important than the worker. Do you agree with that? Or the leader?
No, because in the beginning, like the person that creates stuff might not even be like a CEO. It's just like the founder of the company.
I say, well,
right?
that's
and
that's
I agree. I mean, I
like,
did let you talk. Can I respond to you right now? Am I allowed to do that, Rob? Because I didn't interrupt you when you were talking.
Go ahead.
So it's like I
agree.
Yeah, I agree that you know, it's like when you establish a company, somebody established that company, right? And that's fine. It's like you could have that, and then you can establish like a structure to the company. But once that structure to the company is established, the company can work by itself, and it can work with the people that actually do like very specific roles inside the company. That's why, you know, Jeff Bezos came with the idea of the website, and then he started to hire people. Jeff Bezos doesn't do shit right now. He's obviously no longer the CEO of the company. He hasn't been CEO for like a very, very long time. The same goes for like every major company that you can think of, right? In this world, you don't need them. And you know, as I told like Working Man previously, we have examples of companies that had no CEO for months, and their stock prices still went up, right? The company didn't go bankrupt. The company still functioned absolutely perfectly without a CEO.
Daniel, what we're doing that, we're agreeing. We're agreeing. I say in the beginning, the person, the owner, whoever the creator is, that person is often the CEO. But once they get to a certain point, they're fine. If you take a child, a parent is very crucial those first few years. When they're 17, 16, 17, 18, you get them some freedom. They're not, if
Yeah,
you
I
go
wasn't. I
for a
wasn't
weekend,
talking about. Okay, so besides the point a bit, right? What you're trying to do right now, because I wasn't talking about the establishment of companies. I was talking. We have a company, right? And when you have a company that's been established, right, and it's working, and people have roles inside the company, right? The most important thing, people, for the well-being of the company and for the continuation of the company, are the workers, are the people that are actually producing things, right? And that's why we see examples like when people do strikes, when you had the automotive strikes like a few years back. Why do you think they caved? Because they knew without the workers producing the freaking cars, they don't have a business, because they don't have the cars,
No, that's
right?
wrong.
And you oh,
They
it's wrong.
did
It's
it.
like, who is the CEO going to go to the production line and just produce the
They
cars?
had to cave because they had to follow all the rules and union laws and all that bullshit. But if they wanted to, if they hired a
All
bunch
that
of,
bullshit.
I'm just saying, the reason they
Oh,
moved
it's
their
just crazy.
whole factories to like Taiwan or whatnot is because they don't have to deal with minimum wage and all that stuff, right? Those people are dying to work for $2 an
They
hour.
moved them to Mexico, and that's not exactly the full
excellent
story.
point.
Yeah, but that's the point, is that the workers can be easily replaced.
And you can move continents and go get workers.
Let's just
What
keep it
about, you
between
know, I don't
Daniel
know
and
if you,
Rob, please, if that's possible. Appreciate it.
okay. I mean, okay.
You
You
trying to
remember,
tell
in
me
I don't
what
know
to
if you
do
were
over here?
in the 80s, Reagan, when the airline, not the airline, the air
Air
traffic
traffic
controllers, they
controllers.
strike.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he released all of them. How was he able to do that?
Oh,
Because they had
because he
more.
was just like
They
a
had
politician that had the power to do it.
no,
And that's it. And
no. That's not the important part. That he had the power. He always had that power. It's because they could replace the work. If they didn't, if he had the powers and he didn't have the manpower to fill those positions, he would have never done it. But he did
no,
have the
obviously,
manpower.
it's like, but there's a reality when it comes to air traffic controllers in the United States, is the fact that the whole sector is still suffering from that decision that he made
I
back
don't
then.
disagree with you. I don't
Yeah,
disagree
but
with
no,
you.
no, you're saying that it's easy, right? If it were that easy
No,
and there's been
no.
no
What I'm
consequences, and that the
saying, they
fact that you
still did
can
it.
do it. No, I know you can. I never said you can't do it. Obviously, you can do that, right? That's not the point. The point is like, and the initial question was, it's like, who's the most important in a company? And the reality is like, once you have a company established, the most important people are the people actually producing, the workers, right? Like the CEOs, is like, they're not as important, right? And look, we can even
Right,
go
they're not
further
as
than this,
important.
Rob.
They're not going to be as important as one person. Not going to be as important as 300 workers. Of course not.
Of course, but that was my whole point. And Working Man was just
I said
saying
we would
that's
agree,
not true.
but I said we would,
Yeah.
but you and I were in agreement. However, on
Yeah.
that military thing you're doing, you were very wrong, because even though you said they killed those generals, there's a thing called battlefield promotion. When those generals were killed, guess what? The people who
That
under
wasn't
them,
the case in Iran. That wasn't the case in Iran. So let me tell you exactly what the thing with Iran was, right? So Iran, they actually understood like a very long time ago that they will be coming under threat, because Israel is Israel, and Israel is like an extremely belligerent country that has like a genocidal approach to their foreign policies, right? And they knew that there will come a point where they're going to be attacked. So the way they structured their military is kind of like a co-op, and they call it like the mosaics doctrine, right? Where what happens is like, you can kill the generals at the top, everybody else below knows exactly what their role is, right? And they can do everything independently, right? So it doesn't matter, it's like how many top generals you're going to kill in the Iranian army. Like everybody below that, it's like everybody knows exactly what their job is, right? And everybody can do their job independently.
What you're pointing out to me is that once the top 3 people, whoever these people are, they're gone, guess what happens? Other people move up, and you still have another leadership.
No,
leadership
that's what I'm saying. They don't move up. So I'm not saying they move up. You're misunderstanding me.
So you're saying they don't. So there's
up.
no one. So you're telling me that when they're out here making decisions, they're just, I'll do this and you all go and do that. That's not how it works. People have to work together.
I'm
Somebody
telling you
has to
exactly
make that
what's
call.
happening right now in Iran. It's like I'm not talking out of my ass. You can actually go look it up. You're going to go to
So
people
the sun, the sun
yeah,
isn't
it's
in
like,
charge. So the sun isn't in charge.
the sun is not in charge. The sun is not the military, right? So it's like when they killed the Ayatollah is the supreme leader, right? And he's like a religious leader, and he does have
Is
like a
his
lot of
son the
power.
Ayatollah
Obviously.
now? Is his son
His
the
son is the
supreme
Ayatollah
leader?
now. We don't even know exactly what's with him because he hasn't really had any public appearances. Right?
Why wouldn't he? He's smart.
Because he. Oh no! Because I'm telling you
I
why.
saw what happened when y'all did
he
with
might
my
be
father.
injured.
Why would I come out?
No, because no, dude, he might be injured because when they killed the Ayatollah Khamenei, right? They killed him in his home, right? They killed him with his wife was there, his son was there, his wife's son was there, his nephew, right? So, and this son that is now the Ayatollah, he was also there, right? So he was probably injured in that attack that killed the previous Ayatollah. But what I'm telling you is like, and this is about how Iran is kind of structured, right? In Iran, you have the Ayatollah, you have the IRGC, which is the Revolutionary Guard, and then you have like the political part, right? Like the parliament, the president, and all that stuff, right? The IRGC is kind of like a semi-independent structure, right? It's not something that's okay. It's like the Ayatollah has like a lot of power within the IRGC, right? And especially this one, right? Because he's always been close with the IRGC. But what I'm telling you is it's about the operations, like the day-to-day, right? Like every time they launch a ballistic missile, every time they launch, like a drone, right? Like you have all these commanders, but they're not generals. They weren't promoted, right? They're still commanders, captains, whatever, right?
They're still in charge now.
They're just doing.
They're still in
doing
charge.
their job.
They're still in
They're
charge.
in charge of They're in charge of very specific things, like very small things. They're not in charge of like the whole thing, and that's why they're able to. That's why they're able to actually continue doing military operations. That's why they can still strike, like all the other Gulf countries, Israel, right? That's why they can do it, because they're not dependent on like a general up there telling them what to do.
No, that's exactly why there is someone there telling them what to do, because it doesn't
But
work
it's
that
not.
way.
It's like you're just talking what
listen,
you're doing right now. You're ignoring the reality on the ground.
Listen to what I'm telling you. The military does not work that way. Somebody, when they have a ceasefire,
No.
okay. So
It's the U.S. military doesn't work like that.
Can you allow me to speak? All right. So when they say, "Oh, there's a ceasefire," someone has to say, "Okay, we're going to cease." Because if there's 4 quadrants and the other one says, "Well, I'm just going to do my own thing," that's not how it works. Somebody had to say, "We are at a ceasefire." That's the only way that works. It can't work any other way.
Well, I mean, again, it's like I'm not saying that it's like complete independence. It's like I think you're misunderstanding what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is that, like these commanders, like for example, they imagine it's like they have like this small region that they're kind of like not controlling, but kind of like in charge, right?
I get you.
So
This
what they yeah. So it's like what they know and what their job is like, okay, if there's like an attack from Israel, from Saudi Arabia, from the United States that's happening in this region, he decides what the response is. Okay? So if they're getting attacked, if the region is getting an attack from these places, he decides, right? He doesn't have to call to his superior, right, in Tehran and say, "Oh, can I attack now?" And he has to wait for a response and all that shit, right? That's operational independence on their part. You understand what I'm telling you? It's like, obviously, when there's like let's say a ceasefire, there's a political decision, and then the political side of Iran, they're talking with the IRGC and and the Ayatollah presumably, and they say, okay, let's abide by this, right? Obviously, then a commander might get a phone call, right? And he say, look, it's like we agreed on this one, but you still have the operational independence, right? So even if, let's say, there's like a ceasefire that's been agreed, if Israel attacks, they can still be independent and they can still react to that attack. Okay, that's
So you're
what I'm telling
saying
you.
is that there's a leader who makes that call. Hey,
No, there's
put down we're not
multiple
going.
leaders.
We're not going to attack right now. We're going to see how this goes out. If they do attack first, I still don't want you to attack. I want to see how this is going. Somebody makes those calls.
That's precisely the opposite of what I told you. What I've told you is like it doesn't.
I know
just
what you
work
told me
with-
was incorrect though.
No, that's literally what's happening right now on the ground.
Okay, so what I'm saying is only accurate when it's ceasefire. Okay, so if somebody say, hey,
It's accurate in the sense that, you know, if there was like an agreement, right? Because look, you know what happened? Like the United States came and said, okay, let's do a ceasefire, and then they kind of signed a few things, and after the political side, right, signed the ceasefire, you know what happened after that? Israel attacked, right?
Well,
as soon as Israel attacked-
We're not talking about Israel.
As soon as Israel, just a second. As soon as Israel attacked Lebanon, right? Because Lebanon was included in the ceasefire accord, you know what happened? Iran retaliated instantly, right? And who retaliated? They didn't have to get like a phone call from Tehran to tell them, oh, just shoot there. No, because they had the operational independence.
We don't know that how much. Right, every nation has the right to defend itself.
I wasn't talking about Hezbollah.
Between Daniel and Rob for now. But if you guys are done, then we can move on.
Yeah, he can go ahead. Let him get in.
All right, go ahead, Smocrates. Smocrates and Daniel.
Yeah, Hezbollah made an attack and Israel retaliated.
I wasn't talking
to it.
about Hezbollah. I was not talking about Hezbollah.
Who were you talking about then?
Iran. I was not talking about Hezbollah.
Who controls Hezbollah?
Hezbollah controls Hezbollah.
Not Iran?
Hezbollah.
Iran doesn't control Hezbollah?
No.
Really?
No,
They're
they
not
don't.
a proxy of Iran?
Yeah, they fund Hezbollah for sure. It doesn't mean they control Hezbollah. There's cooperation
I'm
between
pretty
Hezbollah
sure when you're
and the
funding
IRGC.
somebody and like, you know, you say, hey, you do this, you probably got to do that. Otherwise they stop funding you.
No, it's like it's kind of like saying it's like you're going. No,
they're going to
it's not,
continue
and
to
I'm
fund
telling
you
why it's
even
not.
if you don't do what they ask.
That's not how it works because it's not like Hezbollah is being the the employee of the IRGC. There's a collaboration between Hezbollah and the IRGC, and the reality is like they have common goals that they're working towards. And it's not like the IRGC is going to come and just say, oh, you just do whatever we tell you to do. And if you don't do it, that's not how it works between them.
Well, if you don't do it, you don't get paid. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
No,
how
no,
it works.
it's like you're saying, you're kind of making it look like that's how it's working between them, which is not.
It's not? What does
No, it's
being
not.
funded by them mean?
It means Iran has like a vested interest in Hezbollah being successful in its goals, which is the liberation of Lebanon from...
And they give them money and weapons?
Yes, that's what it means to be
That's what it
funded
means to be funded. Yeah.
It's not just they're not just
so if they
subsidizing
don't
those
do
things.
what Iran wants, will they continue to fund
Thank you
them?
for letting me like explain to you. They're not just receiving those things only from Iran, right? It's like, again, it's like Hezbollah also has like independent means of funding. It's not just Iran that is doing that. Obviously, you know, it's a nice addition, right? What they're getting from Iran, but it's not just Iran.
You don't understand, Daniel. A Hezbollah member had some lamb and rice in Iran, and therefore Iran is funding Hezbollah.
Yeah, that's what I base this off.
What I'm saying is that is equivalent to what you're saying because they purchased some firearm because they purchased.
I thought weapons and a bunch of money were a lot
because they can just go to
Kyle, why are you yelling?
Yeah,
because I'm a passionate indivial and I get loud. Okay,
everybody here. But look, like Socrates, you know, for example, Iran actually also received help from Russia and China, right?
I
Does
was
that mean
about
that
to say
Russia
that. You
and
took
China
the words out of my
control
mouth,
Iran?
Daniel.
By the way, y'all, we are still taking
No.
calls. Phone number is 202
No?
998 5218.
Cool. So then
Looks
no.
like we got a bit of an open floor on the Discord, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm here for it. I'm enjoying just listening to this unfold. I'm kind of interested. Maybe I should be more of a moderator, right? Like
He's not. He doesn't stand for it at all. He's in my DMs right now, going, "Shut up, Kyle. Shut the fuck up, Kyle. Don't you fucking open your mouth."
Of course he is. I know who he is. You don't have to tell me. I know him there.
Okay. Does any?
I think Socrates was making a good point though, Daniel, where he was saying that. Well, he was saying that doesn't Iran doesn't Iran control Hezbollah? And I think if you are directly funding Hezbollah and its success, then certainly Iran controls Hezbollah, right? Like in the same way that like Russia was controlling Tim Pool.
Yeah, and I don't see Hezbollah being able to not do what Iran wants and still getting paid.
Okay, I'm going to give
By
you
the way,
like
just side note,
example.
side note, just real quick, right, Daniel? Like, just to be clear, do you remember when Tim Pool, he was receiving like $100,000 a week from some Lithuanian like banker, and
Was
I'm
he
like, bro,
Lithuanian? I don't know.
no, they said that they were Lithuanian, like some libertarian Lithuanian banker, and they're like, by the way, can you just keep saying pro-Russia quotes? And I just want to be like you wouldn't think maybe there's something off from this story.
No, he was Belgian. That guy was Belgian.
He was a Belgian well-to-do benefactor paying you $100,000 a video. Bro, that's wild.
Look, I'm going to give you like a much better example, right?
If I got paid $1,000 a video, bro, I would be able to quit my job. Holy crap!
Dude, you're never gonna get to the Team Pool or like
100,000.
Who was it? Benny Johnson, Dave Rubin, right?
Why not? Why couldn't I get to that? Shut up.
Because you're not a cunt. That's why.
Oh, okay, got it. We gotta not be. Got it. Sorry,
that's the
my
first
fault,
rule.
My
is
fault.
like you have to be a.
You gotta be a giant
more of a
asshole.
cunt, the better. God damn it.
Yeah. Sorry.
So look, in World War II, you had the
was...
French Resistance, right? So like the French Resistance was receiving most of their like armament and from the British and the Americans. Does that mean that the British and the Americans were controlling the French Resistance? Well, no, clearly not, right? Because the French Resistance did what they wanted to do when they wanted to do it. Was there a collaboration between the French Resistance and the British and American armies? Yes, of course there was, because they had the same goal, right? And when you're having the same goal, right, you're going to try to collaborate, right? A collaboration doesn't mean I control you. It means let's try to find together the best way to achieve the common goal. That's what it means. So when you're saying that Iran controls Hezbollah, that's not true.
They are a proxy of Iran. Just like Hamas and Houthis. Like that's why they have a bunch of Iranian
Iran does
weapons.
not control the Houthis either, and Iran does not control Hamas either, right? They do have some goals which are common.
Oh, okay. Now, what if they don't share a common goal? What if the Houthis don't want to do something that Iran wants them to do?
It depends. It's like they're going to decide whether they want to do it or not. And,
and
if they don't want to do it,
Iran
they're
will
not
still fund them.
Yes, of course they will still fund them. Are you insane? Of course they will still fund them. What do you think? It's just like if you don't do like one thing, everything is over. Which is like fuck it. It's like we're no longer friends. I'm not gonna send you money anymore. That's not how it goes.
Well, I think that's
like,
strain the relationship.
And the same thing goes with like the French Resistance. No,
what
but
are we even talking about at
sometimes
this point?
Maybe. But it's like when you're talking about the French Resistance, like sometimes the French Resistance was doing things that the Americans, didn't want them to do, and they still did it. Does that mean that the Americans didn't keep sending them like small arms and explosives? Of course they didn't. Of course they kept sending them, right? Because it's like, yeah, you're gonna have disagreements. Like every rational person understands these things. You're going to have disagreements. It's like, it doesn't mean it's like you're just you stop collaborating. Right? If they only had disagreements, then yeah, maybe then they would start thinking, wait a second, it's like we're not getting anything from it. It's like it's all the disagreements. Maybe we should stop doing it. And when that moment comes, they will stop funding them.
I don't know. They're a proxy of Iran. They do.
Yeah, because you've been told they're a proxy of Iran, and that means that everything Hezbollah does is actually Iran, and everything that Hamas does is actually Iran, and everything that the Houthis do is actually Iran. I can give an example. Can I give you an example?
Are you saying that they're not?
Like October 7th.
Yes or no? Are you saying that they are not a proxy of Iran?
I don't know exactly what you mean by proxy, but if you,
really?
mean like a puppet,
that means
if you mean like a puppet, if you mean like a puppet of Iran, then no, they're not a puppet of Iran.
Okay, they're not like a puppet. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Just messing with you.
Yeah, because look, when October 7th happened, right? That was something that Hamas
a person document the Iranians authorized to act as substitute or representative for another. Is that what Hezbollah is?
How did we
Iran?
get to this? What is happening? What is this conversation?
I don't know exactly.
Because those guys were talking about Israel and Iran. And then he was
talking originally we were talking about like the workers. He was arguing
Lebanon,
for socialism.
And I was talking about how Hezbollah attacked them first.
No, it didn't. That's also not true.
That's also not true?
That's also not true, yeah.
So who made the first attack after the peace agreement?
What peace agreement?
The ceasefire.
You mean the memorandum of understanding?
The first ceasefire that they said that they had.
Oh, it was Israel. This is the thing with Israel.
Really?
Like Israel is always. If you want to bet on something, is for Israel to actually break a ceasefire. Because for Israel, what a ceasefire means, it only means you cease and we fire. That's what it means in their head. You know there's a ceasefire in Gaza? Did you know that? Do you know that every single day, people die in Gaza, killed by the IDF? And I'm talking about people going to get water, medicine, food. It's usually like kids, women. They still get killed. Why is that happening if there's a ceasefire? That's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Can I just say,
right.
Side
it's almost
note,
like
guys,
Israel doesn't care about
this is the most repetitive gameplay I've ever had to do, man. This is
dude. I'm watching you while I'm also playing a game.
Absolutely brutal. This is a my hand hurts. My freaking right hand hurts because I've been just doing.
How many do you
thing.
have to?
3,857.
Oh my god, dude! What the fuck is that game? No way you have to do like 3,000? Are you insane?
Yeah, that's how this works.
Oh my god.
Well, you don't think about doing it in one shot. You just kind of, do a little bit here and there, and then eventually you'll get it.
Oh my god.
You're not
3,000.
You're not intended to do it all in one sitting. No, dude, that's insane. No, just
dude.
be in this
3,000, man.
Be in this area for like a little bit of a little bit of time. Just take a break. We got Rod Rowdy saying, "Idiots." Bro, just call in, Rod. I'd love to talk to you, right? Let's have a conversation, right? How am I an idiot? What did I do to you? Phone number is 20.
You are not good at moderating.
What? I'm a great moderator. You should have seen how I used to moderate long ass time ago. I was a great moderator. I did a great job moderating.
Yeah, you lost your touch, man. You lost your touch.
You think?
Age got to you. I'm joking, man.
He's never... Dude, my freaking hand, it's like actually in pain from just having to freaking...
Are you left-handed?
No. No,
They're
it's
not
just
left-handed?
it's just doing the same repetitive motion over and over. They're just it's good to stretch.
I think it depends on the motion.
You know. Let's see. Kyle is asking me to stop censoring. No, there was just an echo, Kyle. I don't hate you or anything. I had a server mute you because you were there was some noise going on, so that's why I was.
Yeah. Okay. No, I know exactly what you're talking about because after I sent that message, I started messing around with my Discord voice settings. It's weird when you set it to studio. My microphone
Stinklog is telling me to not call. It's telling people to not.
Is that
call
Sting?
What do you think? What do you? what do you?
I don't know, man. It's kind of sounds
two
like
and two together there. You know, I just can't realize. Of course, it's Stink Dink. Of course, why would it not be Stink Dink? He types like Stink Dink. He acts like Stink Dink. It's Stink Dink. It's just Stink
it's a
Dink.
duck.
This dude
Is it Stink Dink or a duck? That's the question.
Yeah, you know how I know it's definitely Stink Dink? Check this out. Look at this. This is good stuff. Hold on. Give me a sec. Let me just make sure I got this correct.
Okay, you have 1 second. You have 1 second, Amender. 1. Okay, your time's up.
Shut up. Shut up. All right, here we go. So we got Stink Dink's favorite playlist right here's Stink's backlog reviews. Wow, oh my goodness, 55 just donated $10. Wow, thank you. They said I love Amender and I love America. Yay. Stink Dink,
especially South
Stinklog
America.
says, who is Stink Dink? I think you know, but let's take a look at
AI songs.
Yeah, he's like, these are the banger. Let's listen to some of these.
I mean, there was an AI song.
You know, I would normally be worried, like of getting copyright struck, but you can't copyright AI.
Really?
That's correct. Yeah. Why could you? Do you think that you could copyright? Derivatives
I don't know,
of
man.
other
It's
people's
like,
work.
it's capitalism.
No.
Anything is possible.
Anyway, all right, let's take a look.
The shot rang out and my knees gave way. I had to stop what I...
Imagine unironically liking AI music. Daniel.
Why does this sound exactly?
Dude, there was one
Hold on.
song that I heard like a long time ago. That was really good. Okay, I'm gonna
It
look
was
it up.
really good.
See if I can find it.
I hate
Why does this
AI.
sound
I'm so done with AI. AI sucks.
This
AI
sounds-
just sucks.
I
hate
This sounds
AI.
indistinguishable from the Asmongold AI song.
Oh, true.
was recently sharing.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, that's trash.
Asmongold may have cleaned his room now, but I know people like Asmongold. It's only a matter of time. He's rebuilding that horde. He's rebuilding those
Asmongold-
trash
isn't
piles.
like Asmongold
As we
just like a
speak.
racist? Like, isn't he just like?
Yeah. Well, he's
just like
he's a racist, but
cool.
He's a racist, but it's like it's supposed to be this joke thing. It's
That
like
he's not a racist?
Using no, no. I'm only a racist because I'm edgy.
That's stupid.
Well, I mean, but you've been on Discord. He's like 1 in a million. He's just one of those idiots that somehow managed to get popular based
Like
off of
giant.
some like
Yeah. I don't
some
really
like
understand.
he
going
got
to send you
popular entirely
something.
off of World of War tutorials
Uh-huh.
and then has just been spewing bile ever since.
That is the best AI song you'll ever hear in your life.
Is it
I don't wanna
is it
listen to AI music.
No,
is
trust
it
me.
popcorn
That
in my
one,
pussy?
No, I'll
That
get
one- no, no.
copy. I'll get
It's-
that for sure will get me my
no,
my channel.
this is AI song. Right?
No, but it's a
AI,
guy
it's called-
reacting. I can't, because he'll you know
dude.
there'll be like a copyright claim on some bullshit like that.
Okay, I'm going to just see. Oh,
Would
dude,
you
it's
guys
like-
would you guys like to see the peak male physique?
Asmongold is
Here.
just blunt.
Here, check it out. Right, you ready? Here
What's
is the peak male physique. You can tell You know, what do you think, Daniel? Do you like it?
Amazing, an amazing
This is what peak dementia
specimen.
looks like.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even do that? How do you like?
Oh, there's a diagram showing exactly. You can learn exactly what's failing in his body to cause him to have that posture. It is actually very common amongst people with dementia. It has to do with
Look.
balance.
I mean,
What?
you
And how
have to play
his-
that song. You have to play that song.
has
I
to do with
sent you, and it
balance and how
starts
his
when the
brain
song
is
starts,
failing.
right?
All right.
To help
If
him
you cannot
balance.
copyright AI, it's impossible for
All
you
right,
to
hold
copyright
on.
it.
What?
Okay,
I'll
What
play it.
posture does he have?
I'll trust you. Hold on. Let's see here.
dude, trust me,
See.
baby.
They say a countryman carries a lot on his shoulders, but here's a little secret so you listen clear. I'm gonna tell you all about nature's holster. It's a special little pocket I got in my rear. See, a southern man got all kinds of stuff that he keeps on hand, and finding room can be tough because of blue jean pockets only hold so much. But boy, the good Lord blessed me with one in my butt, so it hits my
All right, bro. All right.
It's nature's
Wait, yeah,
holster.
no.
What do you mean?
Hold on. Wait, that is literally the that's gender swapped. Hold on.
It's nature's holster.
Isn't Trump like 80 though? I would expect an 80-year-old
He's
to be
80.
fat, but it's not even just like I don't know, like even my grandfather, he's like 90 and he's just like this, you know. He's an old man. He stands like this. Trump, I don't know, it's just how did like hello, I'm
Did
here.
you?
I just
Did you,
I don't
Did you
know
hear about the Eli Lilly drug, Amanda?
what.
Say it
No.
again. Do it again.
Oh, I need to tell you. Okay, so Eli, you know about Ozempic, right?
No,
Like how
I've never
everybody's
heard
using
about it
Ozempic.
before. I've never heard it. What is it? What is it for?
No, you need a bigger belly for
Are
that.
you gonna
And a bigger
explain what it
tushy.
is?
And a bigger tushy.
I gotta get like a coat. Where do I get? I don't have a coat like that.
Dude, it's gone. I can't find it.
Broke ass. I don't got coats
What?
like that.
The there's an AI song.
I'm a broke ass. I don't have fucking like fancy fucking.
You don't have
Nah,
fancy.
he's got a bigger tushy than that, man. You know why he has a bigger tushy? Because he wears diapers.
I don't wear diapers. I have no idea where you got that. Clearly, you're getting from your information from the fake news.
Yeah. The fake news being everybody around him that can smell him when he's sharding
All right.
in public. So catch this, Amanda. You know, I don't know if you know, but you probably did hear about Ozempic. So Ozempic is this drug that was initially made for people with oh my god, what's it called?
Weight loss. What?
Yeah, I mean it's used for weight loss now.
Diabetes
But
or obesity?
for diabetes, yeah, it was initially
got the
it
beatus.
was created for diabetes.
Okay.
But one of the side effects is like you're losing weight, right? Because you don't have like the will to eat and whatnot, right? So like a lot of famous people actually did a lot of weight loss by using Ozempic.
Okay.
And Eli Lilly, an American pharmaceutical company,
Yes.
they're working on a drug also
Yes.
for diabetes
Yes, for
and
the
heart
beatus.
congestion.
Yes.
And it's also like apparently it's even better than Ozempic, right? It's like the weight loss is even more drastic.
Okay.
And it's still under development, right? And the FDA, I don't know if you know, but the FDA has this program which is called the Compassionate Use Program, which allows people to be given a drug, even if it's experimental, right? If they're like in danger, right? If they're like suffering from the disease and it's life-threatening, and that drug could be their last thing, right?
Okay.
So Eli Lilly is working on this drug, and in April of this year, it was approved. This drug was approved through the FDA and the compassionate use program. It was approved for one individual that was in April 79 years old. Okay, so this person also was really, really well connected politically.
Okay.
Right? And in April, that person was 79. That person is no longer 79 years old. That person right now is 80 years old. Do you know of anybody that in April was 79, but right now it's no longer 79 years old?
Donald
And
Trump?
he's really, really well connected and fat?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump, yes.
Okay.
And the thing with this program, it has to be because, you know, you have a life-threatening medical issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this drug is also like really good for heart issue, for, you know, for heart congestion and stuff. So the guy is sick as fuck, right? Because he's a fat ass, you know. He eats like shit. You know, he doesn't sleep well, right? Because he falls asleep during the day, but then at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., he's just like tweeting like nonstop.
Well,
So I don't know, man.
So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that he's probably got some, you know, health people that are just checking on him on a constant basis. It would not surprise me.
Obviously.
So somebody,
I mean, that's why.
though somebody did bring up to me a hypothesis that I was like, I don't have a way to address that specifically, but what it was there was this idea that Trump cannot die by natural means, but that secretly the theocrats, like people who are, you know, they're hardcore Christian nationalists, that they want Donald Trump to be murdered. Right. By the way, this is not an advocacy for that. I'm saying like they want it in order to like create like, you know, a political fight back. And if he died of natural causes, Christian nationalists. If he were to die of natural causes, then there wouldn't be any benefit for the Christian nationalists. So I don't have any proof of this, obviously, right? It's not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's based upon.
Yeah,
you know, there were like a lot of
there
attempts
is not
his
based
life,
on
but,
anything. It's just speculation.
Like literally
is
all
what
of
it is.
them, like all these attempts on his life were kind of like, well, that's fucking weird. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like, it
there have
makes
been
no
like
sense.
a lot of attempts on his life, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah, and they all don't make sense, right? Like even the one where, you know, that guy shot and allegedly like hit him in the ear or whatever. That's like full of like bullshitry.
I mean, I
right?
hope
'Cause
I'm
if you
wrong.
go back,
I hope I'm
Yeah.
wrong. I want to say that I'm wrong. You know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. This is, where are you getting this from first? It is nothing but a hunch or a hypothesis. There is no empirical basis behind what I am saying. So take it with absolutely a big giant grain of salt. Mind you, right? I don't want Trump to die. I would prefer that Trump, when he does pass away, he passes away by natural means, that there is no violence against Trump. Okay. And I say that genuinely as a hardcore bona fide progressive. Like I'm a very woke progressive. Even I don't wish death upon my enemies. So,
I mean, I wish he goes to prison for all his crimes. Because I think
okay,
he
that's a
belongs
different,
in
yeah,
prison.
that's a different, yeah, sure.
That's why I don't want him to die. I want
I mean,
him
the
to
guy
pay
is
for his
80.
crimes.
I don't think it's going to
So
happen,
what?
Daniel. I'm just
Dude,
going to be
I don't
honest
care.
with you.
It's like,
Yeah,
if
I
you
mean,
did the amount of
it'd be
crimes he did, you
satisfying.
should, just
It'd be
in prison.
satisfying,
Yeah.
but I don't see.
Yeah, it's called justice.
I just don't see that it would result in, you know, like anything, I guess. Like, how long would he be in jail for? Like a couple of years? Like, you know what I mean?
Even 1 year, dude. If he's in jail like 1 month and, you know, he passes, cool. He was in jail 1 month. That's it. It's like, dude, there's too many crimes. There's literally too many crimes.
Rubik's just showed up.
Like, he
Hey,
needs to pay
Rubik's, how
for
you
it.
doing? Let's see. Prison sounds like retribution. Well, he has hurt a lot of people. Like, it's not really like a retributive, but
Oh no, we can try
he's hurt
to rehabilitate him in prison.
He has hurt a lot of people. And it's like, I don't know if you can fix Trump. Like, I just think he's going to be this forever.
I mean,
right,
he needs to be kept away from society.
So I decided to hop on r/conservative to see what we can get. And we have here this absolute banger here with 1,900 upvotes.
They couldn't find a better person than Margaret Thatcher.
Than Margaret Thatcher, right? Like of all,
like
one of the most horrible, disliked people ever. Like, I think like Ayn Rand, Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, like, and it's so unfortunate they're both women, right?
Ayn Rand, Margaret Thatcher,
amazing, but these
Hitler,
two,
you know. I mean, like, Hitler, you know.
It's like,
if you had, it's not capitalism, it's reality. Okay, great work. Thanks.
If you
Margaret.
had 3 bullets and you're
And
in a
that's why
room
we
with
should-
Margaret Thatcher,
That's why
Ayn
people.
Rand, and Hitler, who would you kill? I would
There
just
was
put 2 in Margaret Thatcher to make sure nothing bad is going to happen.
Not to shout up to a bigger video essayist channel. Well, I don't know. Do you do video essays, Amender?
Yeah, occasionally.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not
okay.
long, but yeah, occasionally.
Someone
And
did
it-
a video essay on Iran called, I think it's like the all of the worst people's favorite author. And she was such a Nietzsche fangirl.
I hate Nietzsche. Nietzsche, you could instill whatever fucking politics that you want into Nietzsche. And I've heard socialists, argue Nietzsche. I've seen fascists argue Nietzsche. I've seen conservatives mention Nietzsche. It's fucking Nietzsche. And I'm just like, bro, this guy was just a fucking incel. Like, he doesn't.
Nietzsche was.
He was like the original Reddit incel. Like, I don't.
He's the original.
Truly.
He was the Asmongold of his era.
Yeah. The guy could not land a girl. He couldn't.
If Asmongold,
all right,
if
real quick.
Asmongold
Hold
grew
on.
up in an era
So
where
th-
we didn't have
let's-
video games and computers,
Here's another
and
one,
he
right?
had to learn how to read.
Here's another
and
one,
write.
right? It says anchor babies. Finally, a group of fetuses Democrats don't want to dismember. I love that they still don't understand the difference between babies and fetuses. Like, I always like to
And
posit
abortion
the-
in general.
I always like to posit the question, right? If they are equal, like, and you had to choose between like a tray full of fetuses where 100% of them are going to get injected into a woman's uterus, and that they're all going to live and turn into babies versus saving one literal baby, I'd be surprised how many people would actually say, "Yeah, I'll pick the tray of fetuses. Yeah, let's do the tray of fetuses." Like, dude, you're an idiot, dude.
Nobody would
You're an
do
idiot.
that.
I've gotten Republicans to say that. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you're doing that, you're just like an insane person. You should really like try to do something better with your life. If you're going to choose like a tray of fetuses
A tray of
Well,
fetuses.
over like
The
an
only
actual
reason they would is
human
because-
being.
The only reason why they would is because they bought into this idea that somebody would make the decision to go through with an abortion willy-nilly, and it all stems, and I think it's all connected to the myth of the welfare queen. It's the idea is that there are these evil, heartless women out there that will go through something like pregnancy and then just willy-nilly decide to give that growing life up, like.
Okay.
You're believing in a fantasy evil woman that doesn't exist.
Here, we got something else here. It says here, former Olympian has been indicted after an arrest over an alleged reflecting pool vandalism. So on Thursday, DC grand jury has indicted 3-time Olympian David Hearn on a felony charge of property destruction at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, carrying a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison if convicted. Hearn was arrested on June 19th after touching a detached piece of the pool's quote-unquote American flag blue liner during the bike ride. The monument has faced algae blooms and peeling of sealant since the $14 million renovation reopened last month. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro alleged Hearn forcefully and violently pulled the line, causing over $1,000 in damages. Hearn's attorney, Norm Eisen, countered that the indictment reflects the administration's effort to, quote, shift blame for their own failures, unquote. Pirro reported that her office is investigating about a half dozen other cases related to the pool, with some potentially resulting in misdemeanor charges rather than felonies. President Donald Trump has repeatedly blamed vandalism for the pool's deterioration, though critics argue peeling sealant and algae may stem from maintenance or environmental factors rather than criminal activity. Do you guys actually, does anybody, right-wingers, I know you're in chat, does anybody actually believe that there are vandals? That the reason why that the pool is the way it is because of vandalism, not gross incompetence? Can we just be honest with ourselves and just say it's gross incompetence? Can we just know that it is possible for the Trump administration?
They're just gonna listen to Trump, Amanda. Come on, they're gonna listen to Trump. But just keep this in mind,
so
Amanda.
I wouldn't put it
just
past
a second, working man.
So petty.
So look, it's like while they're arresting people for touching the lining that was peeling off, right, and threatening them with 10 years of jail. Remember that Donald Trump actually pardoned people that attacked police, and they admitted they attacked police, right? And after they were pardoned, they were again arrested for assault charges or pedophilia charges and so on, right? So, but that's the important thing. The important thing is the lining that was already peeling off from the pool.
You don't understand, Daniel. Those were gross woke Biden police.
Sorry.
Yeah, true.
May I comment?
That was the woke Biden police.
Go ahead, Southcat. Go ahead.
Thank you. I think this is it's beyond comical. You either could laugh or cry about it, but it is insane that anyone could say otherwise. Oh shit, I've got a big storm coming in. Sorry, it is so insane that I don't even know what to think.
All right,
about touching a piece of plastic that's.
I want to. So I just want to point out, right, just for fun, y'all, they had just placed this. They had just put the liner on, right, painted this liner on. And then as soon as it dried, we could observe what appears to be people driving over. But wait.
That was the president's motorcade.
What?
Yeah, that's Trump.
What? No.
No.
What?
He's
No.
the presidential motorcade.
No, it has to be Democrats. No.
There is no excuse.
Are they driving or
vile stupidity?
They drove over it way too soon after it was resealed. According to 55 is saying that they drove over it way too soon. Why are they driving over this very recently sealed reflecting pool? And we're sitting there wondering, they applied hydrogen peroxide on the algae, hoping that, and then for whatever reason, I'm actually kind of curious, does hydrogen peroxide, you're a chemist, Daniel?
No,
help me out.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
If I may comment, I don't want to interrupt. I know that's inappropriate. That was one of the most vile things I saw, because that actually causes toxic. All the ducks are dead. Let's face it. And also,
at least 5 of them.
At least, yeah. But anyway, I like animals. Okay. So hydrogen peroxide. Do you know what that is? That's a backup to actually, oh my gosh, they didn't dry it properly. They didn't do the proper job. And the fucking, sorry to swear, but that pool job from that pool guy was a crappy job. It's it didn't seal properly, and it's peeling off. No one slashed it, and now you've got this muck going on. And
Is there
I mean,
like
it very much
there's got to
depends
be a
on what the
chemical
lining was made
reason
of.
why like why is this happening?
Well, I mean, look, hydrogen peroxide is just like the way we call it in Romanian, just so you can understand it. It's oxygenated water. It just means you have more oxygen, right? It's instead of H2O, it's H2O2, right? So you have like more oxygen, which means you have more oxidation, right? Because obviously you have more oxygen, more oxidation. Now, can it can interact with paint, but it depends, right? It depends on exactly what they used. I don't know what they used. I don't know what lining they used for the reflecting pool.
No,
the reality is that it also depends on how you put the hydrogen peroxide, right? If you have like really high concentrations, like in very small areas, it can also do that, right? Because it's bubbling, right? It has also like a mechanical effect, right? So if you have like even like small imperfections or like small punctures in the lining, it could literally get inside it and just like inflate it, right? So it's like there's many ways in which it can, but I have no way of telling you what happened because I don't know like the actual details. What lining they were using. Was the lining applied properly? Did it have any tears anywhere before they applied it?
I'm no expert, but I have an article on from Scientific American, which is saying why is the paint peeling off of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool? Poor preparation and a failure to properly apply the coating may be just a few of the reasons why the reflecting pool's new paint job appears to be peeling off. The Lincoln Memorial's reflecting pool makeover was supposed to inspire patriotism, but chunks of material peeling off the pool surface have instead garnered more puzzlement and speculation. President Donald Trump ordered the pool's renovation in April, and that order included painting its floors, walls blue. Yet within weeks of the work's completion, photographs and videos of floating chunks of cerulean material that appears to have detached from the pool walls have gone viral. This material is a polyurea coating, a fast-curing and durable surface membrane that can seal in water and is often used to coat swimming pools. We spoke with the engineering and pool experts to find out what could be going wrong at the beleaguered monument. For one, the blue material has likely no direct relation to the large algal blooms that are also plaguing the monument, according to Tim Auerhahn, chairman of the Aquatic Council. Dude, imagine being a part of the Aquatic Council. Like, could you imagine you just show up to the Aquatic Council?
That is great.
And you're just like, I need to go to the bathroom. Don't you worry. We got you covered.
Council has you covered.
Yeah. Nor is it merely a reaction to the hydrogen peroxide that the National Park Service dumped into the water in an apparent effort to kill the algae, although that likely did not help either. At this point, pinning the blame for the floating coating on any one factor could be premature, says David McFadden, CEO of the paint and coating inspection company KTA Tater. Okay. Auerhahn agrees. The failure of the adhesion to the substrate of that product could have been caused by many factors, he says. Still, based on the videos of workers dumping hydrogen peroxide from the edges of the pool, he says it could have contributed to the issue, but it's probably not the only cause. The Department of the Interior, which oversees the NPS, did not respond to a request for comment. Hydrogen peroxide can be used as a paint stripper, but the water in the pool would likely dilute it to the point that it wouldn't cause the current level of damage he had. It was immediately diluted when it was being added to the water, and that's just many other factors that could contribute to the delamination of the polyurea coating on surfaces like this. He says it was very much likely that this was multifactorial. When investigating engineering failures, we're rarely going to see just one single cause. There was a lot of different stressors to that coating, and probably all had some level of contribution. Another key would have been how the pool's walls and floor were prepared before they were painted, quote unquote, American flag blue during the renovation. The cost of the renovation, which was originally estimated at less than $2 million, has since ballooned to about $15 million. It is actually a really specific process to add a coating like this to any basin, Auerhahn says. When applying coats of polyurea, workers need to make sure that they paint on a new coat within 24 hours or less of the last layer, depending on the specific type of substance being used. That ensures that the polyurea layers adhere to one another and form a solid mass, blocking water from seeping through. And different methods of application can result in stronger or weaker molecular bonds. Given the renovation's short timeline, around 8 weeks, it is possible that the material wasn't applied adequately to prevent damage. The bottom of the pool may also have been affected by the presence of heavy equipment and trucks and the presidential motorcade that drove through at one point while the coating was being prepared and applied. The decision to use polyurea in the first place would also require investigation. Auerhahn notes, the material that you're adhering that polyurea coating to is questionable, he says. They were adhering it to granite. The precise material in question's Rhino Linings Pipeliner 5000. Yo, just FYI, bro. This is a terrible advertisement for Rhino Linings, bro. Who wants to put Rhino Linings Pipeliner 5000 on their pool? All right, I'm good, dude. I seen Rhino Linings Pipeliner 5000, bro. I'm good. It can bond to virtually all substrates, according to the company's commercial data sheet, but granite is not listed. Rhino Linings was not the contractor that applied the coating to the reflecting pool. The company did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Yo, imagine being that company, bro. You sweating, bro. You sweating, dude. That CEO, that's the guy that goes missing, right? If they could make, if they... That's the guy that goes missing.
He's the most important person in that company also.
He's the one. Yeah. Look at you. Look at you.
I'm imagining the guys in charge of like the painting the reflecting pool, and they try to get that one guy to go up and go, sir, Mr. President, please don't drive over it. And it
nonsense. I will drive. Is it dry? Is it dry for me to drive
That'll be better
over it?
Sir.
You know what? I think I heard Jesus say it once. He said, if it's dry, you can drive over it. I don't know, man. It's fucking, I
think he was confusing Jesus with Epstein, but that's...
You know what they always say, if it's dry... I'm sorry, I'm done. I'm sorry.
It doesn't work.
There's a big question mark as to whether or not there was sun compatibility there for the adhesion with granite, says Auerhahn. Yo, bro, hot take. We should buy a can of this Rhino Linings Pipeliner 5000 and apply it to a granite surface. That would be fun.
See how it goes.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Would be. Of course it would be.
Let me see. Let's look this shit up. How much is it?
But it's probably not that cheap.
Rhino Linings Pipeliner 5. What? I just need a can of it.
Rhino Linings doesn't. I imagine they make both this. Pool
I don't know if they
but-
sell just cans, man.
Look, it's got chemical properties.
Because that
No
brand
shit.
sounds familiar.
What do you think? Hey, can you help us with this? Daniel.
Yeah, what?
Chemist, we need you.
You have like what? Yeah, you have a viscosity, obviously.
Chemist. Quickly.
Solids by volume per weight. Okay, 100%.
Is there anything that points out to you where you're like, oh, there's your problem? Because they're attaching it to granite, right? I don't know if you would be able to help out with this.
Yeah, but those are like the physical properties of the whole thing.
Gotcha.
So I don't know exactly how much it adheres to granite. Tensile strength. Oh.
Resin.
Their resistance. Okay. I mean, it doesn't seem to be very elastic, but that's fine.
Excellent lining for potable water tanks, aqueducts, pipelines, and water treatment facilities. Excellent industrial lining for tough application spray conditions such as wall protection in industries such as food processing, food storage, veterinary, production area, and laboratories.
That's fine. Because look, it's like if it's good for like wherever you have like food processing, that's a lot of stress, right? That can be put on it. So it's probably like pretty resistant. But again, it's like, as I was telling, like in the beginning, right? If you didn't apply it properly, and by the way, like the motorcade actually walking, like running,
driving the motorcade, this is terrible.
That's, and especially like the presidential limo, as far as I know, is like really heavy.
It's heavy, super heavy.
Because it has all the
bullet protected
features.
crap. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's take a look here. There's a big question mark as to whether or not that there was some compatibility. Okay, let's see here. Some compatibility there for the adhesion with the granite, says Aharhan, adding that questions also remain on how the substance might react to high levels of ultraviolet exposure and hot temperatures of the Washington, D.C. summer. The company that carried out the renovations is Atlantic Industrial Coatings. Well, man, not good advertising. Which did not immediately respond to a request for comment. In a statement posted to its website, the company said that along with the NPS, has identified that areas of the pool that need repairs. Great. These areas are a very small part of a massive 7-acre project and do not indicate a failure of the liner. The company wrote, these repairs cannot be made until the pool is drained. As soon as that it is feasible for the park, the pool will be drained and AIC will be back to make those needed repairs as part of the warranty. The Trump administration has not made an official statement as to what has caused the peeling, although at least 5 people have been arrested for alleged vandalism of the pool. On June 20th, President Trump said that in a social media post that the pool would likely need to be drained for repairs and take place, and claimed that unnamed vandals had put a 250-foot-long gash into the
Yeah, he did say that.
Where? God, dude, he's
in his head only.
Seriously, seriously, all the Trump supporters in my chat, do you actually believe this? That somebody just walked in with like, I don't know, like, what am I imagining? Like a box cutter and just walked for 250 feet cutting the side of the pool or whatever? Doesn't make any goddamn sense. Are you kidding?
Do you remember Trump before they did it, or after they did it? I think when Trump was talking about the reflecting pool lining, and you're saying, "Oh, it's so tough. It's like somebody could come with a knife. They couldn't cut it. And
of
then
course.
Now he's saying they cut it with a knife.
They cut it with a knife. Yeah.
It's like, dude, like what? When were you lying? Back then or right
woke
now?
liberal that just went over there and cut like a majority of the pool just to ruin Trump's day, bro. Like what? That's just wild. Anyway, y'all, I hope you guys, Stinklog says, are the Trump supporters in the room with you right now? Well,
I'm literally trying to say
yeah,
something.
he's right there in Discord. What do you, he's in the room. He is in the room. Hey, Wall, what's up? Go ahead.
What's up? Well, I did want to answer that question you just said. With as many people who hate Donald Trump, is it beyond the pale to think someone would deliberately put themselves out to do that?
Yeah. Like in this particular instance, yes, because everybody told him exactly what's going to happen.
So it is possible, AWOL, but the problem is that I don't just simply look at the potential possibility. Like, I don't know, take for example, I mean, a good example would be, let's say that I wake up in the morning and I observe that there's like water around in my neighborhood. Is it possible that a helicopter flew by with a giant bucket of water because it had a nearby forest fire to put out? It's possible. Yeah. Is it also possible that, maybe at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, all the neighborhood kids had decided that they're going to get up with their super soakers, and they're gonna have a super soaker fight. Yeah, I'm sure that's possible. Or
Okay.
it is also possible that it rained.
That is true.
Like,
but I'm going off.
I'm saying, like, you
after
could
what Daniel
posit
said.
all sorts of possibilities, but the reality, it's not very. I just don't. I don't
Okay,
find it
what's most
convincing
likely?
unless if you have actual real evidence of this. When I showed real evidence of the motorcade just going right over it, right?
Yes.
That's a
But,
problem.
I was bringing that point up because of what Daniel was saying as far as like, there are people who want to spite Donald Trump no matter what he says. So if he says it's impossible to cut this with a box cutter, I guarantee you there's somebody out there who's going to try to cut it with a box cutter. You have to acknowledge that there are people who hate that man to that extent, right?
Maybe,
Yeah,
but
but
I
also
just don't.
this
I
this
don't.
happened.
I just don't have any evidence of that. And then secondly, like, what did this guy just like walk all the way through the
Crouch down and
then
whatnot, hurting
ran
his
it with a
own back.
box cutter? It doesn't make any sense. It
But
was,
it's not only just
deteriorating and
that.
falling apart everywhere. It wasn't just in the side. The whole damn thing is fucking falling apart.
I could agree
But
with
this
that.
also happened, AWOL. This happened after there was National Guard guarding it and police.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
well, no,
it
that-
doesn't.
that
I
is a little
don't.
bit, now that is a different point there.
Yeah, because
It just,
this is
like,
the
if
thing,
there
'cause
was
he was
evidence,
asked
then
about
fine.
this.
Show the evidence, and then we'll convene on the basis of that evidence. If it did actually happen, great. I will acknowledge that and then move on with it. I'll be like, yeah, a bunch of haters destroyed the reflecting pool, but I just don't find that to be credible without any evidence.
Fair enough.
But we do have evidence that Donald Trump ran over the fucking thing prematurely with a motorcade.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
That did happen. Anyway, well, that's
It was the fake news.
that's gonna be our show for today, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. If you guys enjoy this type of conversation, do consider subscribing. Hit that like button. We do these all the time. You're probably going to see me again sometime in the weekend. I don't know exactly when, but honestly, because of the July 4th, probably a Sunday. It's tentative, but it happens, right? So hit that notification bell, hit that like button, show up on Discord. I hang out on the Discord all the time, so I appreciate you guys joining in and having a good time. Thank y'all very much, and have a great rest of your night. Whee! All right, I'm done.
By the way, Amanda, are you watching the World Cup?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Amanda, you had a good show tonight, man.
Did I? I don't think.
Well,
I
you're
did.
starting to get a lot of
Really?
consistent callers between Merck and I forgot the other
Yeah.
guy's name, but they've been calling consistently too.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Which is good.
That is good. Who wants to go into regular VC1? Let's go. We'll go to VC1. Let's go. We're moving. Wow. All right.
I'm listening.
Hello. Hello, video games.
Uh,
I don't think I got any. No, I didn't really get any subs. That's okay. That's okay. Maybe next time. Next
On
time.
Baywatch.
Gadget. Next time. All right. Let me get my regular head thing on. Yo, I can't wait for the 4th of July. I think I'm gonna end up having.
Do you have
a
anything
cheat day.
planned out?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up having like a cheat day tomorrow. But what? Oh, here's my shitty mic. There you go. But what needs to happen, is if tomorrow is a cheat day, then really what I should be doing is not cheating and just stay on my diet for that day. And so that way on Saturday, that's when I can pay the fucking.
Okay. You're just getting like food coma, right? On Saturday.
For for sure food coma, you know.
Yeah, well, maybe you should do that.
Oh boy.
Maybe you should do that.
I am tired. Can I just say that, guys? I'm tired as fuck.
No, we want you to lie to us.
So tired.
Why you tired,
Did you like
man?
the show, Shifty? I didn't think I did very well. You all said he liked the show.
I loved it. I loved it. Yeah. I was working like the whole time as I normally am, but I was listening and I was I loved it. I thought it was great. And yeah, it was I thought there were a few good conversations about the what?
What's that, Bobro?
I said your YouTube stream is still running.
Is it?
Yes.